Championships. My name's J-Mac from J-Mac Media, and I'm joined up here on the microphone by David Rumans. He clicks his mic on. David, it's a gorgeous day for some motocross racing, isn't it?
Yeah, J-Mac, welcome to everybody. Hoping that COVID-19 doesn't make a spectacle of things too much. Enjoy the opportunity to come up here. Been a long time since I've done anything here at Byford. Track looks magnificent. Hopefully we have some really good day.
We have the 50cc's on the gate, but could we please ask that everybody stand and remove your headgear for the Australian National Anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 50cc demos are first up on the gate. We have to say a massive thank you to everybody that has jumped on board with the 2021 State Championship rounds. This weekend, we are brought to you from Lightweight Motorcycle Club. These guys have done an absolutely incredible job
to prep this track to such a high standard. David, you've only just gotten here into the premises, but looking out over the hill, it's a gorgeous view. We're looking for some incredible action today, aren't we?
Yeah, there should be some sparks flying here today, I'd imagine. Dust could be a problem later, but right now they look as if they've got the track looking absolutely perfect. Expect a big day, kick away with the little guys, see how they run, and work our way through to the big boys in the 125s. Super day it'll be. Look forward to calling it for everybody.
We had some awesome racing down at round one in Manjimup. We're looking to back that up. The 50cc demos, of course, not a competitive class. We're not racing for trophies. Everybody gets a medallion, but it's great to see these guys coming out, getting some seat time and learning some racecraft. This is where it all starts, isn't it, David?
Yeah, the flight of the bumblebees is what I call it. They're absolutely priceless. They're as keen as mustard to go around. Make no mistakes, they are really hard at it, even though only little, but they do a really good job.
We see the sprinkler system being put to good use. A little bit of dust early in the day, even with our practice sessions. How are you forecasting this is going to shape up as we move through the rounds?
Well, if it runs true to form here at Byford, the Lightweight Club to put a lot of work into the track, but it is a dusty track as it dries down. The rain earlier or later in the week was helpful, but it probably hasn't done enough to settle the dust, and I fancy later in the day dust will be a problem.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as we progress through the program. If you haven't grabbed yourself a program, make sure you find yourself one that has your race order in it. At the moment, we are running with the 50cc demos first up. The girls 85 category is going to be out second, with the 85cc big wheels coming on third on the gate. This track has had a couple of different iterations over the last decade or so, Dave. You came here this morning, said it's a wildly different landscape, taking a different run up and down this hill. The start gate used to be right in front of our commentary position, didn't it?
Yes, it did indeed. In my days, it was right in front of us. They run down in front of the commentary position here on the hill, past the canteen and did a left-hander and then worked their way down the hill. They've now moved the starting gates to the middle of the track. Not exactly a great commentation viewpoint. Never has been much to speak of, but obviously we'll do the best we can to give you the excitement out there and get it as close to exactly what is happening. But at some stage you do get a little bit, I suppose, unsighted is a way to think about it.
Flair, we're basically calling by braille, as it were.
Yeah.
We can't really see too much once they dip down, but I have to say I'm really looking forward to seeing these riders shoot off that step off down the hill into the tight right-hander. That's going to be somewhere I think we're really going to see a drag race down to that hairpin, and whoever's last on the brakes, whoever's able to cover that inside line is guaranteeing themselves track position.
it does seem that way. And of course, the other part of the track that's quite quick and can be a little dangerous, and I'm sure the riders understand is that this right-hand side of the track as they work their way down towards the highway. There's a couple of good jumps, a significant tabletop over here, and then they work their way down the hill. That'll be an interesting area. Some good vantage points, I suppose. None better than the middle to see both sides of it. Up here you get a good view across the track, but get a little bit unsighted right down that bottom corner there. So hopefully with all the IT stuff that we've got here, we're right on board with that. It'll make it a bit easier for us.
We have to say a massive thank you to AP Timing, providing the live timing. If you are wanting to keep abreast of the lap times and track positions throughout the course of the day, keep an eye on MyLaps and Speed Hive. You will also be able to catch the information on Race Monitor. Depending on how good your internet is out here, you may or may not be able to gather a connection up, but we will be giving you the latest info as it comes to hand. Of course, the 50cc demos, we aren't really going to be able to give you any information on that. They won't be running transponders, but every other category throughout the course of the day will be updating our timing systems. Once again, massive thank you to the Lightweight Motorcycle Club for all of your work today. It has been a fantastic effort, and it's awesome to see so many entrants out here. Big shout outs to WestFX, MX Graphics, Munster Motor Trimmers, ProPlete, all your motorsport seat covers right there. Shout outs also to Diamond Designs, Boxline Industries, NextM, Moto, Pirelli, Brutal Logistics, Cully's Yamaha, Husqvarna Motorcycles, KTM and Gas, of course, Healthway, as well as our affiliated clubs that have done so much hard work for this 2021 Junior State Motocross Championships possible. We're going to take a short break. The last few sections of track are getting watered. We'll play some music in the meantime. We'll be back with the 50cc demos in just a short moment.
Champions. 16 over A final. This will be a hot competition. The time I worked, I guess, here on beautiful swimming anyway. Christchurch Grammar School. They will be the champions for 2020 as in 2019. Congratulations to our champion, John 23rd College.
We are go. Round 20 lap final. Nickma with a jogging start again. Corey Mitchell, your KZ2 final winner.
Off the start away, it looks like he's having a lead. Got a good one. Second play. He's going to take it, ladies and gentlemen.
Right on him, right up behind him, about a half.
Between 5th and 6th, it's Turner with a big mistake. But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
50cc demos firing up. We'll see them shoot off the gate in just a moment. We'll let them do their thing. But we have to say, while they're out there on track, maybe you need to have a look at an upcoming series of events. Mini-cross, definitely something you want to check out. Smarter Than Smoking jumping on with that one. We've got a few dates. Looks like May 15th, right here at Lightweight for the Mini-cross. Now, just double checking the ages on that one. Ages 4 to 12. So if that's something you want to get into, go check out the MWA website. It'll be all over the Facebook page as well. The ice cream van, that's brought to you by Ben's Ice Cream. Make sure you go over and grab yourself a cold snack throughout the day. But if you're after a hot drink, the coffee van is running as well down here as the 50cc demos belting off the starting gate. Non-competitive class, but no one seemed to shoot these kids the memo. A variety of skill levels, but this is a great proving ground to scout some young talent and really instill some racecraft into the way these kids comport themselves throughout their later racing careers. Great to see them out there. We'll let them do their thing. We'll be back with our next category. The last of our 50cc demos coming off the track. We're about to kick on into the 85cc girls division. 7s to under 12 about to come on out. They're out on the gate. So as the last of our demo riders make their way off, it's great to see them out here. And it's already starting to warm up. People shedding the layers. Don't forget to grab yourself an ice cream. It's never too early for ice cream. And a hot cup of coffee on offer down here on the fence. A reminder, please, no riding of motorcycles through the pits. I have been informed we will be dishing out 2 position penalties. If you have been seen to be riding through the pits, you will cop a 2 position penalty for your next race. So watch out. Sweeps are just concluding their lap, bringing in the last of our 50 riders. Our first competitive race of the day about to kick off. This is the Smarter Than Smoking girls 65 to 85cc small wheel division in the hands of the starter. Watching on. One rider choosing to go almost all the way out to the highway side of the starting gate. Trying to really maximise that drive into turn 1. Gates down and we are off. Problems for one, stalling on the line. And it's a hard-fought fight through turn 1. A high line from our race leader. Now just double-checking as they come on past our commentary position for the first time. Welcome if you are watching on. Young Rimbus on the 110 machine. That's Michaela.
Yeah, got a pretty good start there, J-Mac. I expected to see Michaela up at the point end of the race, and that's how it is. Going along in the resplendent pink, well coloured for a ladies' game, and doing a nice job. Pinch a little bit of a break, and got away from the second rider. Looks like it's Darcy Forrest from Addison Orr, Zala Haywood, Amelia Cross, Lily Hunt, and Charlize Foley. That's the way they circulate.
It's a small field, but one that is guaranteed to fight right through to the checkered flag. They seem to have spread themselves out, and Michaela Rimbus with a handy gap, almost already out over 10 seconds. Those times will update as Rimbus comes back up the hill, makes her way in towards the tabletop. This is a fast-flowing back section of the track. Top Gear pinned wide open, Dave.
Yeah, a hard-packed track like this, there's only one way to go. That's check out the throttle and give it as much as you possibly can. As Rimbus works away down across the highway section of the track, has pinched nice little break there, looking every bit of rider on that bike, not frightened to get a bit of air, and gets it down on the ground and drives hard to the next corner. I'd reckon got a very good lead so far and has spread eagled him right from the start.
Everybody out in different sections of the track. A little bit of a battle going on over at the tabletop, but Rimbus about to come across towards the start-finish line. Coming back up and through. My first time calling here at Byford as we see a scrabbling for traction on the infield section of this course. This is where it gets tight and technical. This is where track position can really play such a key component into your successful lap. Fires it up the up ramp, and Rimbus looking to complete a first lap in the lead here for the 85s.
Yeah, doing a nice job. Looks every bit of rider too around that big corner near the scoring timing tower there. Doing it nicely on that tabletop, back around to, what are we going to call that? It's obviously the return chute there. Area, no name, let's call it Moto, Pirelli, call it what you like, and Rimbus peels off another lap. Second rider going quite nicely too. That's the bike of Darcy Forrest, 166. She looks like she's got pretty good control. Then we go back to the next one around the corner here, the Pirelli Moto corner, and that would be rider number 810. So let's have a look at that. That's Addison Orr. That's the top three as they circulate, doing nicely. Lap one of 3 or 4.
Decent gap between first and second, looking at 6.5 seconds on the road. Darcy Forrest has a bit of a job ahead if she wants to try and go toe-to-toe with the 2:17 lap time, and that's the opening lap. So it's kind of tough to really gauge from there. We'll see them as they clock through. You can follow on with my laps on Speed Hive and Race Monitor as well here in this race one of the Smarter Than Smoking Girls 85cc.
Yeah, they're doing a good job, these girls, and nice to see the females take part in an event such as this. From my experience in years gone by, there was very few females that graced the track, but as time's gone by, they've learnt their craft, they've seen what they can do, and they've shown everybody else that they're definitely capable, and Michaela Rimbus is no exception to that. Rimbus continues to lead from Forrest, or Haywood, Hunt, Cross and Foley, albeit spread out like Monday morning's washing on the line.
Just a quick public service announcement. If you have a van registration DI5SYS, that's DI5SYS, you have blocked the driveway. Please move your vehicle immediately.
Otherwise, I'll pick it up with a forklift or a front-end loader.
Yeah, well, we won't even be nice to pick it up from the chassis. It'll just be straight through the side of the body. Pick it up from the roof.
Yeah, that's it. So if that's your van, can you get it moved, please? Blocking needs to be moved. Okay, race is unfolding in front of us, and Michaela Rimbus doing beautifully. About to go after a lap rider. And she looks every bit of rider for my money on the inside line and whizzes past without too much worry. Doing it nicely. I think she's got a little bit more of a break and doing it pretty well. Back there in second, Darcy Forrest and Addison Orr top three.
The gap has now blown out to 12.65 seconds as Darcy Forrest clocks in with a 2:23. 2 laps down and 5 minutes out here on track for this 85cc ladies or girls division rather, as we are running in the juniors. Addison Orr running third on track, Zala Haywood in fourth, Lily Hunt fifth, Amelia Cross in sixth, and Charlize Foley rounds out your girls 85cc division as riders splashing through a couple of puddles of standing water out here. Now tell me, lap traffic in a fairly small field, you've got to be smart about how you go around these guys and girls out here on track, don't you?
Yeah, I think at this stage it's not really an issue because the faster riders are just going to find a spot, see a rider in front of them, look up, have a look, change positions, line on the track, and whiz straight on past. you'll find as we get into the smaller divisions and the bigger fields, then it becomes a real trap. If you get stuck behind riders, you're not going to find a way past. You'll find the leaders get right away.
It's going to be interesting. I think we'll hear quite a few of the old limiter bash pass signals getting thrown around out there. It was something to behold at Manjimup with the 250cc's really jumping onto that throttle to let people know they were coming.
Yeah, exactly. And I reckon Manjimup's probably one of those tracks where you've got a lot of opportunity to pass. Don't know that that's the same here at Byford. Byford's not exactly a one-line track, but you've got to pick your pass manoeuvres. I always said to my young bloke, if you're going to go up to a rider, that's the time to go past. Some people do have a tendency to pull in. Not a good idea. If you're going quick enough, you've got to find a spot, move over, get on by. That's what it's all about.
Last lap board about to be presented to our race leader next time we come around. Michaela Ringbus has cracked out an absolute stunner, 2 minutes 17 last time around. Her best lap time is only 0.4 of a second quicker than that. Last lap board for Ringbus on the 110 machine.
Okay, Michaela Ringbus, homeward bound, daylight between her and the next rider, and be interested to have a look at the lap times, I reckon, J-Mac, as we go along, just see how she does compare with the boys at the same age group, and we'll do that, I think, as the day unfolds. But Michaela doing very, very nicely indeed. In second, Darcy Forrest has chased hard, but is a fair way back at this stage. Addison Orr, Zala Hayward, Amelia Cross, Lily Hunt, Charlie Foley. They'll be all homeward bound in this event touring program, which is Smarter Than Smoking Girls 85cc.
Darcy Forrest flashing in front of our commentary position through the right-hander. Not afraid to really work this two-stroker. Coming on and off the throttle, up and down the jumps. The form looks pretty good, but at this late stage of the race, a lot of time spent in the saddle.
Yeah, I think once you get to understand exactly the right position on the bike, and I remember Len Huff, a commentator of years gone by, used to say the way to ride these things is to make sure that the bike works for you. You shouldn't be working on the bike. So get yourself in the right posse, get yourself positioned, and stay upwards and onwards as long as you can. That's the way to get to the checkered flag in first position.
Charlize Foley on the 331 machine coming across in front of us. Just rolling the jumps. Can't miss her in the pink and navy gear. Being chased down by the 307 of Zala Hayward, looking to get around a lapper. Getting set for our next race, the 85cc big wheels. They are prepping their gates. Dave, tell me, we're going to be seeing some pretty heavy action out there in the 85s in just a moment, aren't we?
I believe that they're the testing material of the big wheel 85s. My experience from last year is that some of these guys were pretty fast pedalers, and they went particularly quick. So I think the whole shot will be the big thing as we watch for Michaela Ringbus coming back around, double checkered flag, great bit of work, extracts maximum points for the first moto for the girls today.
Smarter Than Smoking bringing that race to you. We are about to move on into the 85cc big wheels.
Just a recap on that race too. The event winner was Michaela Ringbus, Darcy Forrest in second, Addison Orr third, Zala Hayward in fourth, 1 or 2 still circulating on the track, and that completes the event touring program. Proudly brought to you by Smarter Than Smoking here at Lightweight Motorcycle Club in what will be an absolutely stunning event. Just bear in mind the COVID-19 rules. Don't think we've mentioned it, don't want to mention it too much, but I think one would be remiss not to mention that we need to abide by those rules set down by the government.
So that means masks for everyone over the age of 12 here at the venue today. Please be mindful of that. We have, now this is actually a combined small wheel and big wheel, 12 to under 16 division. Our sweep riders just completing their lap of the track, bringing the last few of our girls 85cc riders in. The 85cc two-stroke and 150cc four-stroke small and big wheel class brought to you by Gas.
Okay, well, looks to me like it's a full gate.
Excellent.
And it will be a charge of the Light Brigade. The riders have got a 15-second board for a full 15-second. Then they go round to 5. The gates will rock. And let me tell you, it'll be absolutely lickety-split to the first corner. Whole shot. That's what it's all about. Get around first. Race with a breeze in the face.
It's going to be interesting. How many riders does this gate hold? It's a 40 gate, isn't it?
I believe that's the maximum allowed in any motocross event. So 40, they are going to be from one side of the track to the other. Could be a bit of carnage. It's a bit difficult to poke 40 riders into one line.
Absolutely, but we trust that these kids will find their way through. It's going to be awesome.
Okay, green flag to the riders, and they'll get a 15-second board shortly. 5 seconds, then they drop the gates.
At the ready. Here we go. Geez, holding them. There we go. 85cc's, like you said, charge of the Light Brigade into turn 1 we go. A high line there. Wow, almost going off, losing a bunch of positions, and it's one of the Rimbuses out in front, Dave. What a start.
Yeah, absolutely. Blew them off the circuit there. Bike number 929, I think you'll find it Rimbus. Ruman's up amongst them there. They start to sort themselves out. And I've got to look at that 411 there as well, which is Jakey Backer. So actions are plenty right from the get-go.
Big move up the inside from Jack Backer, but couldn't get it done on Michaela Rimbus, or rather Leah Rimbus, my apologies. The 411 machine doing everything he can to try and tack onto the rear tyre of that sparkly pink jersey.
Here we go with the battle of the sexes, and the girls are in front. Oh, that'll get them absolutely cooking behind. I think you'll find in behind them Jake Backer, Jake Pelicano, Jake Rumans, Luca Romano, Kai Pratt. They're all circulating up in the pointy end, but they'll take nothing away from Rimbus. She has shown them a clean pair of knobbies right up there on the first slab and doing it nicely.
Big charge there from one of our riders in blue. Hard to tell at this distance. But over the tabletop they go, down towards the highway for the first time in anger. Rimbus doing an absolutely stellar job, running parallel, and it's a big, big move in midair, gaining precious ground. Hard under brakes, Rimbus under pressure, Dave.
Yeah, she took the high line and back her on the inside. Almost got a passing move attempted there as they worked their way. In fact, it might even be Rumans, to be honest. It looks like that could be so. As they work their way around this circuit, come back to the Pirelli flag, right in the centre of the track. This is the technical part. This is the part where they'll really have to get their lines correct.
So at the moment, you can see it's the number 44 running in second place behind Leah Rimbus, doing absolutely everything. Jake Rumans trying to grab himself top spot.
Yeah, Jakey Rumans, fresh from a ride over east in Victoria, riding. He's a Blue Crew rider and doing a good job too.
Here we go, Rimbus still charging hard, keeps the altitude down on that one as she crosses the start-finish line for the first lap. Running in P1, Rumans with a super quick wide line, style check over the rollers, and he is trying to hunt down the 929, almost overcooks it, Dave.
Yeah, exactly, and Rimbus, as smart as you like, quick as a whip, went back on the inside line and chucked it in the face, but Rimbus takes another line.
Oh, Rimbus is down on the inside of the right-hand hairpin, runs back over, and now Rumans has got the break he needs, but the battle rages.
Yes, exactly. Well, that was bad luck for Rimbus. Lee Rimbus just pushing a little bit too hard on the gravel surface, a little bit unkind unless she gets herself set up, dropped the model, and has got to do all the work again. That lets Rumans in front now from Backer, Pelicano and Pratt.
We've just had a rider go over the top of the left-hander in front of our commentary position, tumbling down out of sight, lost the rear end.
You flagged that with Jakey just a minute ago. He almost did the same thing. So I think the track's probably a little bit skaty because of the situation. It's a bit hard packed, and they're going to get their lines right. That'll be the problem. Off the line they'll go.
So racing continues, and Jake Rumans, currently your leader here in race 1 for the 85cc gas division, and doing an incredible job. We'll come in with an updated race order as they flash across the start-finish line again.
Yeah, Jake Rumans has got a bit of a handy break now. According to our situation here, we should have Jackie Baker on 411 and 201, Sonny Pellicano 349, Kai Pratt, Patrick Butler. Expect to see him come through the field a bit harder, and Connor Weiss will be another one racing at this stage in 7th. I fancy probably 6th, but doing a nice job as they circulate on mostly the bottom section of the lightweight track here at Byford.
Coming across the start-finish line, Jake Rumans on the number 44 machine with a handy gap back to second place. We'll check it out as they come on through. Sonny Pellicano on the 111 machine, looking to try and hunt down the number 44. We see Patrick Butler in 3rd place, Kai Pratt in 4th, Backer in 5th, Connor Weiss in 6th. Leah Rimbus holding down 7th place after a tumble on lap 1. Chance Napier in 8th, Declan Caldwell in 9th, and Brody Taylor rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, going nicely in front, the Blue Crew rider, Jakey Rumans, bike number 44. Pellicano, exactly where I thought he would have been. Had a little bit of a lean start. It's a bit tricky when there's 40 into one line, and obviously didn't get the best of start, but he drove his way through and came nicely into second, chasing the leader now.
Let's talk about quick times out there on track. Rimbus clocks in with a super quick 2:06, but that has been stripped back by Jake Rumans with a 2:03.48, almost a third of the way through this next lap. We'll keep an eye on the times and bring you the information as the dust starts to rise from the lightweight motocross circuit.
Yeah, we did say dust will be a problem. 2:03.483, a good second fast than Sonny Pellicano. No, it didn't look like that as they went past us here at the commentary position. Pellicano looked to me like he was pinching a bit of territory off of Rumans, but apparently not the case. They've got a bit of the race to go, so no absolutes at this stage, but Rumans looking the goods in front on the Blue Crew, Yamaha 85 for a bunch of good sponsors. As you'd imagine, mum and dads usually figure pretty well in the sponsorships, but those that don't have a nice big long list, read like a book.
Absolutely. Just watching the 301 flashing in front of our commentary position, just taking things a little easier, looking like he's sporting a little bit of battle damage early in the piece. And you can see this right-hand hairpin just in front of us is really catching a few people out. If you are watching online on the 4Style Media live stream, welcome. We're watching a battle now. Looks like Sonny Pellicano is getting mixed up with Patrick Butler. Through the left-hander they come. Patrick Butler has 2nd place on the gas and the number 68. These gas machines, they're an incredible ride.
Yeah, you know, historically, gas came out when my young guy was riding and doing a good job. Yeah, they're having a bit of fun there, but they seem to have improved. KTMs are all the rage and have been all the rage for quite some time. Then Yamaha's snuck in. The Suzukis, they used to be pretty solid, but gas not a well-known brand, and they are rising to the top a bit.
Well, finding that, of course, the support from KTM and the technology that KTM's pouring into them, they're also able to keep a good price point, which I think is kind of fitting considering we are running in the 85cc gas category. Watching on our screens, the battle rages between the 111 and the 68 of Patrick Butler.
Yeah, Butler and Pellicano having an absolute ding-dong tussle. They're on their way down towards the highway. I think you'll find Butler probably just in front now and pinch a little bit of a break from Pellicano. And they're chasing hard on Rumans, who's into amongst the lap riders. And the sad part about those two guys is they're chasing each other It's costing them a little bit of time, but notwithstanding that, every lap rider that Rumens gets between them makes it harder cars to get to the front.
Let's talk about the gap between Jake Rumens and the chasing Patrick Butler. 4.8 seconds. Doesn't sound like much, but on a track like this, where they not only have to catch up to you, but then they've got to pass you, 4.8 seconds is an eternity, Dave.
Yeah, it's not a race-winning break, but it's certainly a handy number, and provided that you keep the race face on, you don't button off, I think it's a nice lead to carry towards the last lap board and ultimately the checkered flag and extract a maximum of 20 points. And that's what they're all about. It's points here today that are cumulative towards the championship at the end of the year.
Rumens across the start-finish line on the number 44 Blue Crew machine being chased down. Patrick Butler's got himself a little bit of breathing room from the 111 of Sonny Pellicano. Butler puts the 301 lapper in between them. Pellicano takes that extreme inside line through that left-hander. Watch this. Butler high on the left-hander and issues for the lapper. 301 goes down. Not sure if there was contact there with Pellicano on the 111 as he went past, but he is in a very tough spot as we see another move getting put down on lap traffic.
Yeah, I think Pellicano probably was running forwards and went past that rider, probably ducked in just enough to knock the front wheel down. That's just racing, that's what it's all about. First into the corner gets the first spot, and that's what it should be. So we're competing in event 3 in the program, the 85cc, 150cc 12 to under 16. Jakey Room leading, Patrick Butler, Sonny Pellicano, change there, Kai Pratt up to 4th, Connor Weiss into 5th, Leah Rimbus fighting her way back.
Doing a great job. We saw her back as far as 9th earlier in the piece. She's doing an incredible amount of work out there on track. A 2:08.77. While that might be 4 seconds off the pace of Jake Rumens' last lap, it is still getting her up around some of her competitors in front of her.
Yeah, when you look at Leah Rimbus, a young lady doing a really good job from the Coastal Motorcycle Club. Check out her sponsors, Mum and Dad. Give till it hurts. Not a sponsor there, so hey, if you're out there and you'd like to sponsor somebody, you could do a lot worse than throw some money behind this family. I know they do it tough, and any sponsorship would be helpful. And why wouldn't you? She's got a bit of ability, as has her older sister in Michaela.
Watching on screen, the number 44 coming in towards the start-finish line. This is the last lap of the Gas 85cc division. Up around the inside of lap traffic, we follow on with the number 44. Jake Rumens doing an absolutely awesome job. Let's pick up 2nd place. This is Patrick Butler on screen if you are watching on the 4Style Media live stream. Through the left-hander, and Butler clocks in with a 2:03.71, the quickest lap of anybody out there. He's trying to close that gap down, but Jake Rumens is finding time out there on track. 4.9 seconds the gap to P2.
Yeah, I was just checking that out there, J-Mac. I thought the gap might have decreased a little. When you look at a 2:03 and a 2:04, so he's almost a second faster, Butler. But look, his biggest enemy now is going to be the checkered flag. Last lap bound, they're not going to pick up 4.5 seconds. That just isn't going to happen. So he's going to have to settle for second unless something underwood goes wrong for our race leader and Jake Rumens on the Yamaha 85 for STR Racing and the Yamaha Australia doing a very nice job. Didn't get the best of the start, came through the field and has led from early in the race. Looks like a ticket flag and maximum points for him.
Continuing on, this is the final lap. Everybody being shown that last lap board. For some riders, they'll be feeling desperate. For others, they'll be feeling relief. The torture is almost over, but guess what? There's another 2 rounds of racing yet to come. Watching on over on the infield section of the track now.
Okay, we're looking for our race leader, the Gas 85cc sponsored event 3 in your program. If you're following along, we're looking for Jakey Rumens, bike number 44 on a Yamaha. Shouldn't be that far away from a checkered flag and the maximum points. and as I speak, he's working his way towards the checkered flag. Did a great job. Patrick Butler still going along nicely in second. No change in the order. Pelicano third. There's a bit of a change there. Kai Pratt up to fourth. Leah Rimbus still coming through, still in fifth, and that's an effort, a real good effort.
Amazing to see her almost outside the top 10 after a tumble in the early stages of the race, but to resurrect with such a charge. Well done, Rimbus. You've done an awesome job. Surely, in my eyes, going toe-to-toe with rider of the race. So yeah. Rumans, Butler, Pelicano and Pratt have crossed the line. That's your top four.
And Lee Rimbus just taking the checkered flag in fifth. What a creditable ride that was. In the pink top.
You can't miss her, the sparkly pink. You see her everywhere.
Say, like the sparkly pink. Good on them. And that's showing the girls are right up to it at this level.
A fantastic job there. Quick lap of the race belonged to, I believe, Patrick Butler with a 2:03.331 to his name. Only just pipping Jake Rumans by about a tenth of a second there. An incredible job. The 44 was in prime position to pounce after a mistake from Leah Rimbus. Your top 10 look like this. Jake Rumans in first, Patrick Butler in second, Pelicano third over Pratt, Leah Rimbus in fifth, Connor Weiss sixth, Jack Backer, man, didn't he have a race, in seventh place, Chance Napier in eighth, Caden Freight in ninth, and rounding out your top 10 was Ryder Matthews Taylor on the Savage Motorcycles machine.
Yeah, action-packed 85cc, sponsored by Gas. Nice event. If you're not watching it, then you should find yourself a vantage point, because these are the best in the West, and they're doing it for you today here at round 2 of the Smarter Than Smoking State Motocross event at lightweight. Don't forget, if you're a bit hungry, you'd like something to eat, we've got ice creams, we've got coffee, and we've got the girls working feverishly in the canteen. If you'd like a hamburger, a hot dog or something else, feed the inner person, then make sure you avail yourselves of the facilities. That's the way the club make their money. And there's a lot of money goes into this. Make no mistakes, it's not a cheap event to run. So if you can, or if you fancy, get yourself something to eat, something to drink from the canteen up here on the hill beside the commentary position. And we wait for the next event, event 4 in your program, which should be a good one as well. Plenty of action all day today here at the Lightweight Motorcycle Club.
Competition.
Every time I walk back down here, I'm beautiful swimming anyway.
Giant Christchurch Grammar School. They will be the champions for 2020 as in 2019. Congratulations to our champion, John 23rd College.
We are go. Round 20 lap final. Nickler with a jogging start again. Corey Vincent, your KZ2 final winner.
Off the start away, it looks like 7-3. Got a good back up.
right up beyond him, about a half.
Between 5th and 6th, it's Turner with a big mistake.
But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
Okay, riders are in the hands of the starter. Watching on. The 50cc autos, age 7 to under 9s, are away. And here we go. We'll catch a race order as they flash across the start-finish line. And leading us out, Ryder O'Grady over Bam Hill on the gas in second place. Evan Foley third, Caleb Tatt fourth, and Rocky Legg in fifth place on the 724 machine.
Yeah, these are the 50cc's with a little bit more of a motorbike feel about them. The early autos, not much suspension, same sort of motoring, but these things are actually little rocket ships, to be honest. You jump on one of these and twist it, and they want to bark and jump up. They're a real handful, and these little guys are doing a fantastic job to get them going in the way. There's a gaggle of riders all over. Check it out. Riders down over here on the little green bike, but our race leader going quite nicely. Ryder O'Grady, I think you said, from Bam Hill, Evan Foley. That's the top three. A huge field here. Quite interesting to watch, and they're very keen to get around the track.
Starting to spread themselves out here at the back of the pack as we motor our way through. This 50cc auto race is going to be 7 minutes plus 1 lap. The 50s kicking up dust as they make their way up towards our commentary position. A range of skill levels on display out here, but gee, the quick riders, wow, they are super quick.
Yeah, dust already is going to be a bit of a problem. Looks like 2 or 3 all in a heap there, having a real crack at the pointy end of the race. Quite a number of riders in behind them, but at the moment I think O'Grady, Hill and Foley having quite a nice little tussle up front as they work their way into the central part, round past the commentary position. Those 3 riders, any one of 3, maybe 4, could take the checkered flag in this moto.
Each one of these guys are primed to grab a spot should someone make a mistake. Almost going high off that left-hander. Caleb Tatt leads us out. Ryder O'Grady in second place, but under fire from Bam Hill on that 197 machine. Rounding out your top 4 is Evan Foley, Dave.
Yeah, exactly, and you have a look at these little guys. Again, I hark back to Len Huff's famous phrases. Frequent flyer points for the first couple. They're not frightened to get the bike up in the air, and when they do, they make sure that when they land, they go hard and they work their way down there, going nicely. So Caleb Tate's taken over the running from O'Grady, Hill and Foley. They work their way down towards the highway section of the circuit once again, and doing it nicely in front, but no good thing at this stage.
A lot of KTMs out there. The KTM 50 SX really something that guys like to throw a leg over, but you can't discount the little Cobras either, can you? They're a wildly quick machine.
Yeah, they seem to be quite a handful, those little Cobras. I mean, for the years that I've known them, KTM has been pretty much the bike of choice, and they've done really, really well. the development with KTM in all their biking endeavours, including road racing, has been outstanding. And then, of course, as you pointed out to me earlier, go with the gas, and suddenly, technology is making a statement here.
I think the days of gas sort of languishing are going to be soon behind them, but we'll get back to the race at hand as we watch on screen. Currently running in first place, Caleb Tatt out ahead of Ryder O'Grady with Bam Hill in third. Quick lap time belongs to Caleb Tatt with a 1:49 as he flashes across the start-finish line, Dave.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart time for a little bike like this. But bear in mind, they are a motorbike. They do handle like a motorbike, albeit a miniature style. And these boys, when they grab a handful and they give it a quick tweak, they do go quick. And our little race leader, 216 Caleb Tate, is showing them a clean pair of knobbies just right now. Racing with a breeze in the face, that's the way to go.
Bam Hill doing everything he can on that 197 machine to get onto the back of the rider, building a gap in front of him. 3.5 seconds between P1 and 2. Then Bam has a little bit of breathing space back to Ryder O'Grady with an almost 2.7 second gap. Not much, like we say, and liable to close up as the race continues, but we'll keep an eye on that. Ooh, hard landing for the 778 machine in front of my commentary position.
We've got a yellow flag in the middle of the circuit, so rider down. The rider is actually up. I think the biggest issue here with these little riders is the fact that they've been asked to lift their bike and then restart it. That's a bit of a problem for some of them. I know it's part of the need to obtain a licence, but at some stage I think there is a situation where you can let them help them out.
So we are sending our Medicaid buggy out to the scene, and we will make sure they receive the very best of attention. But at the moment, the race continues, albeit under a yellow flag condition in the middle of the circuit. Our first aid flag is out.
Yeah, one thing you can say, rider safety is paramount here. At any of these motocross events, we have the best available first aid services. That Centre First Aid ATV down there, and they'll look after that little rider without any worries at all. So at the moment, where you're watching race 4 in your program, Caleb Tate leading Bam Hill, Ryder O'Grady, Evan Foley and Noah Thomas round out your top 5, and they've still got that yellow flag wave, but clearly they've got to the rider and will administer the right sort of first aid.
We watch on as Bam Hill on the 197 machine is on your screens for the Four Style Media live stream. Great to have them here and broadcasting the action today. Good form, watch him getting up on the pegs as he's over the jump, disappears through the trees, but will follow on as he ducks out. It's an interesting part of the track as they drop out of view over that step off. The bigger bikes will clear that second jump. Makes his way up over the tabletop. Oh, Dave, what'd you see?
That was a bit ordinary then. A little rider 158. I can't get you a name, but it almost came down. It was Tars Giltrap right in front of us on a little double. Went down front wheel first. Lucky to gather it back up and keep on running. But that looked a little bit untidy for just a short period of time there. Managed to do the right thing and get it going. So they're circulating on pretty much all over the track now. As you expect with these little bikes, they do have a tendency to spread out. Once our race leaders get away, there's one needs a little bit of muffler packing, I'd say.
Yeah, we had one last race or last state round. It blew the entire end cap off and was just so incredibly noisy. It was wild. But we come back to the race at hand. Caleb Tatt still leads us out, 3 laps down. We are into final lap board territory in just a moment. This moto scheduled to be a 7-minute plus 1 lap, and indeed, there it is, the last lap being held out for Caleb Tatt. Still running incredibly quickly, a 1 minute 51. His PB lap time is a 1 minute 49, Dave.
Yeah, that's very smart indeed. 149 round this circuit, given the circumstances. Very nice indeed. And have a look at that rider in front of us there. They just go absolutely lickety-split. No quarter asked or none given for these little guys. And our race leader homeward bound, Bam Hill, chasing hard, frequent flyer point from him on the little double in front of us. They work their way down to the highway section of the circuit now. Race leader going nicely. Bam Hill in second, okay. No change in the order there from Ryan O'Grady, Evan Foley. And looks like John Fitzgerald's moved up to 5th. by what I see. You go down to probably the first 10, or certainly 9, are in the high or low 150s, the rest in 2 minutes a lap. So there's a bit of a gap there.
Watching them on screen over down near the highway section of the track. That's Bam Hill in the red and yellow, making a move around some lap traffic in behind the starting gate. Coming back into view now. He'll make a move on lap traffic. Grabs track position and continues on, but nobody really able to touch Caleb Tapp. He's worked out an almost 7.2 second gap, and he's looking to front up to the start-finish line to collect the checkered flag in this first moto.
Yeah, not much in the lap times between Bam Hill and Ryder O'Grady. There's 0.04 of a second between those two, but 151.5 is Caleb Tapp, 154.2, 154.24 to Bam Hill and Ryder O'Grady respectively. So obviously our race leader is going well. Got a checkered flag out. He takes out the moto, extracts maximum points, 20 big points to him, and that's a fantastic effort. Bam Hill will get second, Ryder O'Grady will get third, and that's what it's all about.
Caleb Tapp definitely massaged a whole heap of time out on that last lap. That gap jumped up from about 7 seconds to over 10 and a half in the stages, the dying stages of that moto.
Yeah, that's a significant break between the two riders, but he was definitely on the gas right the way through. And I think you'll find as the race unfolded, he maintained or improved his lap times, whereas the other riders perhaps went off just a whisker. And that's the difference. You've got to be consistent from lap 1 to the last lap.
So the fastest lap time of our 50cc autos belonged to Caleb Tapp, Moto 1 winner. It was a 1 minute 49.131, an incredibly cracking pace out there for these junior riders. We are going to have a super short break off the microphone, and we will be back with the 65cc's Moto 1. This is the 10 to under 12s. They're on the gate. We'll crank some tunes. Be back in just a short moment when riders are in the hands of the starter. The Cullies Yamaha 65cc Brigade are off the gate. Couple of issues for a few riders there, but they funnel down from about 30 into about 2 lanes of traffic through turn 1. Leading us out, this looks like Deegan Fort over Riley Byford with Jax Wilkinson closing in P3. He might have actually been snapped up. There we go. Let's check him out. Fort leads us through on the 102 machine. Byford trying his best, but I believe he may have moved back into third. watching on.
Yeah, Deegan Fort, the flying doormat. He's a little moppy kid that goes wrong, but I tell you one thing, he is a Blue Crew rider. He's handling the Yamaha beautifully and does a real nice job. Only little in stature, but not frightened to give the throttle a big tweak. And as they went through that first corner, he really grabbed a handful of the Yamaha and strode to the lead.
These YZ65s, they're an absolutely incredible pint-sized pocket rocket, but man, they pack some power, don't they?
Yeah, all these little bikes, they are really an ornament of technology. In the old days, the 60cc's had nowhere near the power, but these things they handle, they've got the suspension, they've got the motor, and when you get them running, they absolutely fly. Baby rocket ships is probably the best way to call them.
Of course, you can check out the latest from Yamaha. Just head on over to Cully's Yamaha, sponsors for this 65cc two-stroke division for the state championships. Your updated order looks like this. Deegan Fort still leads us out. I know Mason Brown was up into second place. After that, things have chopped and changed a little bit, but we watch on as they come back past the highway section of the track in towards our commentary position, and a great little battle happening with Fort. Geez, Fort's managed to grab some time there, but loses the spot due to a canny move from Mason Brown on the 658.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about riding on these circuits, the high line is not necessarily the right line. Inside is quickest. On these hard pack surfaces, a lot of the guys have a tendency to want to whiz around. There it is there. Look, Riley Fort out here on the high line. Deegan Fort, and Riley Byford back on the inside line. So that's what you've got to be careful of. Get your lines right and not necessarily the quickest outside. On the inside, it's a little bit less flowing, but it gets you where you need to be quicker.
Provided you can get that drive down, it could be yours. Check it out as Mason Brown flicks it off the high line, threatening to oversteer that rear end around on the 658 KTM. Deegan Fort on the 102 Yamaha, starting to fall back a little bit. The gap has broadened out to 1.77 seconds. And Mason Brown just hammered down.
Yeah, he's got a big handful. There's no doubt about that. He said go, and away he went. Down the hill he goes, and he pinched probably another 2 or 3 bike lengths without too much worry. And he has got the race pace well and truly on. Bike number 658, Mason Brown, has taken up the running on a 2:10. So look at the lap times there, 2:10 to 2:13. You wouldn't have thought that. I thought Deegan Fort was as quick as the boy in front, but by jingy, he has really got the hammer down.
Riley Byford running in third place on the 543 machine. Brown still the fastest so far with the best lap time for 2 minute 10:88, as mentioned by Dave Rumans here on the mic with us. You can see a variety of different lines starting to form up, but as you were saying, a lot of riders favouring these high, fast lines. It's a little bit of a tightrope. We've already seen a few bikes go over the top of the berms.
Exactly, and it's a bit skated, the surface. You've got to make sure that when you get set up, you don't move too far from your line. And to be honest, I think once the event unfolds further, maybe the inside lines might quicken up and be just a little bit more satisfactory for quickness around the corner than perhaps the outside. But right now, everybody just testing the bike, testing the track, making sure they get exactly the right position for themselves. But our race leader is doing an absolutely splendid job in front. Mason Brown, a good 3 seconds faster than the next rider, which is Deegan Fort from Riley Byford and Jack Wilkinson, going beautifully.
I think you're actually going to see a much expanded gap this time around as our race leader flashes across the post. Again, watch the lap time update, and the gap is now going to sit out. There it is, a 4.8 second gap up from 1.77. Mason Brown is absolutely flying, but Deegan Fort doing everything he can. Clocks in with a 2 minute 13.69. Kind of hard to compete with a 2 minute 10.64.
Okay, so this is race 5 in your program's Cully Yamaha sponsored. It is the 65cc's, 10 to under 12s. Cully's Yamaha, been around for a long, long time, and wonderful sponsors of motorsport for a long time. As we see a gaggle of riders come through right in front of us.
The 1-2-1 machine doing everything he can. That's Jax Wilkinson, was running in 4th place. I believe he's now dropped back to about 6th because we've seen the 230 of James Egerton Warburton and the 184 machine of Levi Farr jump up ahead. So that order will update as they come across the start-finish line, but those three going toe-to-toe, fairly well matched. We can watch on as they are on screen on your 4Style Media live stream. They pop over the tabletop.
Yeah, Mason Brown, have a look at the speed over that tabletop with both those jumps down on the highway circuit as he goes high, wide and hands it around the next bend, right down the, I suppose, the southwest bottom section of the track, and he is really on a march. He has got the thing wound up, lackey band tight. Have a look at the dust fly over the back of the wheel there. Mason Brown leading away, 6:58 doing 2:10. Back to Deegan Fort, still in the 2:13 lap time, and a gaggle of riders back behind those.
Your top 5 looks like this. Mason Brown leading us out. Deegan Fort in 2nd. Riley Byford 3rd. Jax Wilkinson in 4th with Levi Farr running 5th on our screens. I get the feeling that has swapped Levi Farr out. We'll give you that updated order in just a moment as your race leader is about to come across the start-finish line again to commence his 3rd lap.
And by the looks of Mason Brown, just to my naked eye, he looks like this could be his last year on the bike. He looks pretty big on that. But by gee, I tell you what, he just chucks it round like nobody's been to. And he has got it wound up as quick as he can go. Not frightened to leave the ground. Bit of frequent flyer points, but certainly won't want to be on a bike of this size for next year. He's got a little bit of leg room, but not a whole lot. So Mason Brown going beautifully.
Doing well on the Mandurah KTM. JB Bobcats and Bolt everywhere. Backed entry. Deegan Fort, well, he is doing everything he can, but he's in damage control at the moment. Hails from right here at Lightweight Motorcycle Club, doing it for Yamaha Australia, B-Firm Energy, SRD, Alphacade, YJR and GYTR. Kid's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yes, I've got to say, Peter Strickland's done a wonderful job with that Yamaha racing team down there, and he's picked out some good riders, and Deegan's a nice little kid, the flying mop. He's not much of a pint-sized little kid, but I tell you what, when he gets on a bike, he's got a whole different perspective, and he just goes, he's a charger, a hard charger, and doing a nice job. Not quite getting on turn with Mason Brown, but there looks to be a fair bit of difference in age there for me.
Mason still doing a cracking job out there as we watch on screen as Deegan Fort absolutely sends it along the highway, clears both tabletops with ease. That 102 is on song. And Deegan muscling it around so nicely. Looking smooth on the bike. A lot of these young riders really have shown early on in the piece that they have incredible technique.
Yeah, that really, that's what it's all about. So you get your technique right, and then speed comes. I never forget, some years ago I went to riding school with Stephen Gall, and his prime message to all the young kids that he ever taught was get your technique right, get your position on your bike right, and the speed comes. That's what it's all about.
Fort coming across as Mason Brown gets shown the last lap board right as he gets around a lapper high on that second turn. Sends it over the rollers in front of us. And I think you're dead right. He's not got too much more time on that chassis, that's for sure.
No, he's working that suspension. Don't you worry about that. He's not frightened to get it up in the air. He gets frequent flyer points at nearly every jump he can find. And he is on the JOB. Don't you worry about that. Homeward bound and is showing them how it should be done. Roaring down the track. At every opportunity, he's got it wound lackey band tight.
Watch him as he gets around a lapper, up over this small tabletop, into the hairpin right-hander, back into view on your 4Style Media live stream. And he's got a gaggle of lappers right in front of him. He's got to get around them all, and he's got to get around them cleanly. He's not going to really sacrifice the lead here or any huge sum of time through the left-hander and down towards this big tabletop. This next section, top gear, flat stick, throttle pin. Watch him as he shoots it on down towards the highway section of the track. He'll take a left-hander and cruise up along the roadside.
Yeah, and what I said about passing riders earlier in the commentary is exactly what Mason Brown's doing. He goes to the riders, There's no way he pulls in. He sees a rider, he sees the line they're on, he moves over either outside, inside, and bang, straight past. No mucking around, no time lost, and that's the right way to attack it.
Yeah, the longer you sit and you stew and you overthink the situation, the more likely you are to make a almost fatal mistake out here on track in terms of your race result. Let's check it out. Mason Brown on the last sector of this Lightweight Motorcycle Club course. Pulls around our live timing area and is coming in towards the final two corners. Over the tabletop, through this left-hander. You can see he's rolled off the throttle. You can see that he's able to look through the corner back and see just how much time he's got. But the checkered flag will wave for this Cully's Yamaha First Moto for the 65cc two-stroke division, 10s to under 12s. Mason Brown takes it out.
Yeah, double checkered flag for the winner. And that's what it's all about. 20 big points. He'll be very pleased with his work. He'll go back into the pits, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of smiles on their face in that area. Deegan Ford got a really good job to hold on to second. He strived to get as fast as he could around the circuit. The blue crew rider on the little Yamaha did a nice job. Riley Fife for Jax Wilkinson, Levi Farr, James Eckert and Warburton, and we had Albie Reeve, Angus Farr, Seth Clarion rounding up the top 10, Jack Valenti. That's the way that went around in Cully's Yamaha Event 5.
Well, a good bit of news. This is a little bit of a public service announcement. The West Australian Premier Mark McGowan has just come on Facebook Live and has reported that at this stage there is no lockdown. We are subject, of course, to existing restrictions. We will keep you updated on any changes if and when they occur. So, breathe a bit of a sigh of relief, because that means we are able to continue with our event today here at Lightweight Motorcycle Club. And Dave, it's a pleasure to have you here with us. So far, we've only seen some of the smaller displacement categories getting out there, but the action has been big bike spec, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been. They've really lived up to expectations. These little riders, they're riding smaller machines but doing a wonderful, wonderful job. But I look across at the starting grid and I think we're about ready to see some serious sparks fly in Event 6 in your program. Should be a very good event. It is the 125s 13 to under 16. They've got 15-minute lap here of the Circuit Plus 1. And this is where the big boys come out to play. The little guys have shown them how it is, and the big boys are about ready to set sail for some serious action.
Well, we are going to let them get sorted. The last remaining riders will make their way off the track. We're going to crank the tunes. We'll be back with your next race in just a moment. The 125s ready to tear up Lightweight Motorcycle course. Barely a chance to draw breath, and we kick on into the 125s. Dave, take it away.
Okay, they got to the first corner. The gaggle of riders all looking for the run. We're looking for Deegan, Pace and Jakey Rumors and a few others. They sort themselves out. Let's have a look and see if they get themselves into racing. Little good news. They've all made it round the first corner. They work their way towards us now. Bike number 348. That's Kai Pratt, 349. Deegan, Pace, Patrick Butler, Dylan Walsh, Jakey Rumors. That's the top five as they circulate. The spark's about to fly.
This is interesting. Deacon Pace has track position, puts the block pass down on Kai Pratt, but Pratt fights back, grabs the inside line on the crisscross. Through the left-hander they come, and Pace right behind him, looking to make dividends on any mistake that Kai Pratt could make. Patrick Butler running in third place with Dylan Walsh in the mix with Jake Rumans on the 44 for the Blue Crew. As they come back towards us, they're going to round the left-hander into the tabletop. Let's check out how mixed up the colours have become. Oh, gee, the battle for third and fourth is tight, Dave.
Absolutely. I think you'll find at the moment we've got Deacon Pace has taken up the lamp lighting in front, bike number 21, as I would have expected him to be right up the pointy end of the event, and he travels down towards the highway section of the circuit there. 3 or 4 riders in behind him. That's Patrick Butler, Kai Pratt, who had an absolutely blinding start from Dylan Walsh, and Rumans tacking on for 5th.
Wow, there's a big gap for P1. Deacon Pace has absolutely slaughtered the competition in the early stages of this moto. Sends it and wraps the throttle back to the stop. Through the right-hander.
Oh, look at the dust. I don't like the look of that at all. That's not going to be handy for the motorbikes, but I tell you what, Pace is doing the right thing. He's going to race with a breeze in the face. He'll probably be in the best position in this particular race. Deacon Pace, bike number 21, got to the front. A very, very quick bit of work. Patrick Butler not far away. Kai Pratt, very impressed to see him up so front and the pointy end of the race.
Here we go, collecting the first lap. Pace is the quickest with a 1:59, but that could very well change as we see second and third flyover. Dylan Walsh in second place, Patrick Butler in third, Kai Pratt has fallen back to fourth, Jake Rumans in fifth, with Taj Ven running in sixth place on the road. No real big battles at the moment. Everybody's opened up in the top 5, but here the battle for fourth and fifth raging. A move on the inside from the 243 machine. That's Braden Upperton, moves up to sixth place. The 28 of Taj Ven fights back, puts a block pass down. Upperton almost gets cleaned up on the left-hander.
I think it's Taj Reid dropped the motorbike. Looks at the KTM there, but stay with the action up front. Should have another rider right here. It's skating.
Wow.
I think you can see the way the bikes are going. The surface is very skatey. There's not much grip, and the slightest wrong line, and I think you'll be off the berms, no problems at all. Deacon Pace not having that problem. Dylan Walsh, beautifully done, got into second. Patrick Butler third. Kai Pratt, but there's action aplenty all over the circuit as we speak here at Lightweight. This event, 6 in your program, Smarter Than Smoking, sponsored 125s. Working beautifully around the circuit.
I tell you what, it's great to have Smarter Than Smoking on board, but surely there's someone who wants to slap their name on this 125 two-stroke category here. These things are amazing. The dust flying. You were saying that could pose a problem for the guys running a little bit further back in the pack where they're a little bit tighter, a little bit more bunched up, and we can see that coming off the highway section. Riders in groups of 2 and 3. They are starting to spread out, but there's still so much. So we check on screen, thanks to 4Style Media, trying to catch up with our front runners.
Yeah, round past that corner there and up past the commentary position there. You'll find is our race leader, Deacon Pace, still doing it nicely. Not a huge gap all of a sudden, so it looks like Butler is starting to come on board. So here comes the action. Patrick Butler about to get on board with the rider in front, Deacon Pace. The sparks are about to fly.
Yeah, the Empire Cycles backed entry of Walshy really pushing Deacon Pace, trying to get up onto him. He had a great run out at Manjimup last time around.
Yeah, difficult to get a real handle on who might win this. I fancy Butler as a bit of a charger, probably just a little bit stronger on the bike for my money as we speak. As they work their right up the top section here, Butler really starting to work over time on the model. He's grabbed a handful, getting into a very good passing position as they work their way down the hat. Obviously sensing the problem there. Pace grabbed a handful and worked away again.
Let's check your top 5. Deacon Pace over Dylan Walsh, Patrick Butler in third, Jake Rumans in fourth, and Kai Pratt rounds out that top 5.
Yeah, Sonny Pellicano back there in 6th, still doing pretty well. But the action up front, there's been a race of fluctuating fortunes there. Dylan Walsh on 61, Deacon Pace on 21, and Patrick Butler dropped back to 3rd. So not quite sure what happened there, but the way the circuit is, you can understand one mistake could make a lot of difference at this level.
And Dylan Walsh looks to be drawing up onto the back of Deacon Pace. He takes that inside line, trying to cut down the sheer distance that he's got to travel, but it has resulted in a lack of drive. They both run the high line through the left-hander. Pace over Walsh. Patrick Butler's fallen off. He is some 6 seconds back off the rear of Dylan Walsh as they flash across the start-finish line. P1 and 2 on track, going toe-to-toe. Walsh doesn't have an awful lot of time left. We're 3 laps in and 6 laps on the clock. This is going to be a 15-minute moto. We'll have a 10-minute second moto, and then we'll crank it back up to 15 minutes plus 1 lap for the final race.
Yeah, and 15 minutes is a fair whack, and they're really going hard in front. Deacon Pace holding on grimly. Every time there looks like a bit of a move from Dylan Walsh, Pace senses the danger and manages to find a couple more bike lengths. As it stays like that, that'll be good. Plenty of dust emulating. Those two have got right away. There's a fair bit of gap back to Patrick Butler. I've got Archie Freegard. I think that's all out of whack there, but Patrick Butler, Jake Rubens, Kai Pratt, not sure about the yeah, that's better. I thought it was a little bit out of whack. So they're circulating on most parts of the circuit right now. The dust is going to be a huge problem. I hate to keep mentioning it, but you can see it happening before our very eyes. And if you dust the motor, as you know, not a good thing for it.
Absolutely not. Clean air filters are going to be critical here today, especially for the 2-stroke machines. They need to be kept absolutely pristine. So the crew chiefs are going to have a bit of a job ahead of them, cleaning and re-oiling in between motos. Hopefully they've got 3 fresh ones for the day. Fastest lap of the moto belongs to Dylan Walsh on that 61 machine with a 1:57.68.
Yeah, that's a really, really smart time around this circuit, that's for sure. 1:57, that's magnificent when you look at it. You've got 2 riders in front in 1:58, so sub 2 minutes. Then we go back to 2:01.03 and get down to 10th, you're talking about 2:12. So, you know, those 2 guys in front are really charging hard.
Someone who looks to be riding out of place as such, Luca Romano on the 122 and Alex Watkins. Both of those riders are running 2:09s. They're sandwiched in between much slower riders, almost a second, 2 seconds slower ahead and behind of them.
Go back to Max Devery the same. But as I said to you earlier, you get a situation develop where you could be the fastest rider on the circuit, but behind slow riders, you can't make up the time. You just don't get past riders quick enough to be able to attack the leaders of the race. And there is a good example there. Riders, look at this, Snake Graham in a 2:07.
Yeah, wow.
You know, that's amazing, but he's down in 14th to 15th, so got the speed, just hasn't got the ability to be up the pointy end at the minute.
Interesting to watch this situation develop as we continue on our 4Style Media live stream, coming to you from round 2 of the Smarter Than Smoking Junior State Motocross Championship. This is your 100 to 125cc 2-stroke 13s to under 16s as we jump on with Jake Rumans on the number 44 machine.
Yeah, he's a Blue Crew rider. Jakey Rumans, the STR and all the other sponsors you read in the program, but at the moment this technology is absolutely fantastic. You get a good view of what's happening, you understand where it's at, you get your timing, all that is information that you can use both as a rider and as a support crew. You get an understanding of exactly where your rider's at and what he needs to get the pointy into the race.
So we are 4 laps in, about to become 5 in just a short moment.
Rider off in the middle of the circuit there, yellow flags. Again, first aid being administered or going down there. So I see the rider sitting on the side of the jump, so perhaps not too bad. But I was just going to say a while ago, you know, haven't we been lucky? The first 5 or 6 events, one lot of yellow flags and no real majors. Commentators curse almost.
Absolutely. Guarantee we'll see the riders fall now. Hopefully that's not the case as Dylan Walsh has grabbed another lap. Wow, running that extreme high line. And Walshy on the 61 still leads out. He got up over the top of Deacon Pace. I didn't catch that. Hopefully we did capture that on footage. But man, oh man, Walshy will now cock that right hand back to the stop and make it hard for Deacon Pace to chase.
Yeah, well, while we're talking about riders off and all that, obviously Dylan Walsh, who looked to be going as hard as he possibly could and was certainly bridging the gap. He got the better of Deacon Pace. He's in front now. He's now a race leader, a race of fluctuating fortune. You've got Pace into second, Butler third, Rumans fourth, Kai Pratt, Pelicano. That's the top six, but still no good things for the checkered flag right now.
We just saw Sonny Pelicano on the 111 KTM absolutely cranking the biggest wheelie on the way in towards the left-hander. It got captured by our cameras. It's going to look epic when we play it back. Wow. Sonny Pelicano going hard no matter how many categories he's entered into.
Yeah, they're good hard charges, these little boys. Not so little. I mean, we're talking about 13 to under 16. This is the premier class of the juniors, and they are recruiting themselves in an absolutely splendid manner, albeit the fact that the guys up the front are really quite quick. Dylan Watts peels out a 1:58. He's now 3 seconds quicker than Deacon Pace. Patrick Butler not that far away, but again, there's 3 seconds. So we've got a 3 second differential between 1, 2, 3. So it seems like they're starting to flex their muscles and get into a race position that would see, without any doubt, Dylan Walsh take the checkered flag, the double checkered flag, I might add, and extract 20 big points.
So we are almost 12 minutes through this 15-minute moto. Oh, rather.
Yeah, I've not actually sat and figured out, if they're doing 150s, they've got to do 7, 8 laps of the circuit.
Yeah.
That is a pretty tall order, even for the sake that we're 13 to under 16. 8 laps of this circuit would definitely test you out. Arm pump would be an issue towards the finishing part of the race, and concentration at 8 laps is difficult as well. So good on them.
Here we go, watching the
Pelicano, yeah.
Watch this 111 machine of Pelicano here in front of our commentary position. Yeah. Over the rollers, into the right-hander. I want to see if he cracks a big wheelie this time. The 111, watch him roll the power on. He manages to keep that front end down. I think he might have had a little bit of a scare last time.
Yeah, and he went for the inside line here in front of us on that very, I suppose it's a very sharp right-hander. Didn't go round the corner as nicely as he probably wanted, and I fancy probably lost maybe a half a second in the way around, whereas Rumors went the high line and rode all the way around. So it's a bit difficult to know which is the right or wrong line. You just got to set up and make sure you get it right.
So if you are watching on our 4Style Media live stream, please ignore the checkered flags. This is not the final lap of the race. We are running out to the physical checkered flag. We watch on as the 61 machine gets around some lap traffic. That is your race leader, Dylan Walsh, coming in towards the start-finish line. He will crack off another couple of laps. He still hasn't been shown the last lap board yet.
No, and Dylan Walsh riding for the Wanneroo Junior Motorcycle Club. Now, that's a pretty good effort. Did he get frequent flyer points just then?
Yeah, he got a couple. He also got a pretty close proximity to a lapper as he made his way past and over on the rollers in front of our commentary position. Right in front of us now, heading into the left-hander, watching now with the number 21 of Deacon Pace, trying to get onto the back of Walshy. But as we get into the dying stages of this race, that's looking to be harder and harder to achieve, Dave.
Yeah, I think the checkered flag's going to be Deacon Pace's biggest enemy right now. But I tell you what, he's doing a very manful job, chasing hard, making every post to winner, trying to get as close as he can to a race leader. Their lap times are very close now. 158.7 is Dylan Walsh. Deacon Pace at a 159.03. So a very small amount of difference in their times this time around. So that's a good thing. And I reckon, look at the gaps come down to 2.7 now. So obviously our race leader Dylan Walsh is now being chased hard by Deacon Pace. I reckon the checkered flag's his enemy, as I said, but he certainly is pushing hard. Pace is pushing as hard as he possibly can, trying to get on board with our race leader.
At this on-track pace, we are less than 2 laps away from the double checkered flag. Dylan Walsh will be getting shown the last lap board next time around. He's currently about a third of a second through and looking to take out this first moto for the 125s. You can see the sheer amount of dust being picked up by our 4-Style media cameras.
Definitely shows up on the screen here, and when you look down the hill, you can see the dust starting to emulate from the track. It's a shame he didn't get just a little bit more rain on it in some ways, but at the end of the day, that's the circuit it is, and that's the way it is. Okay, race leader should be with us again, and there he goes, peels off another Dylan Walsh, still in front of Deacon Pace, Patrick Butler, Jake Rumors, Sonny Pelicano, Kai Pratt. That's the way they circulate top 6, and we are last lap board, homeward bound, in the Premier class here today at Lightweight Motorcycle Club. This is the Smarter Than Smoking second state round of the junior motocross events.
Deacon Pace running in second place with Patrick Butler holding down third. Jake Rumans in fourth. Sonny Pelicano on the 111 in fifth. We ride with Deacon Pace on the 21 machine coming up towards the left-hander in over the tabletop. Watch him, drops in from the high line. Absolutely sends that number 21. Quick style check just to keep the altitude down low, and down towards the highway he goes.
Yeah, Sonny Pelicano still chasing hard, but Rumans seems to have his measure as they work their way down there. Might be just a little bit more of a break there than there was to the naked eye. I didn't check the numbers, but yeah, they're circulating. Rumans is circulating just slightly better, and as a consequence is maintaining his position. That seems to be the case from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5, the riders seem to be maintaining their level of speed and working towards a checkered flag. Our race leader, Dylan Walsh, got to the lead earlier in the moto with a really nice drive, hard past Deacon Pace. And since then has remained a lamplighter, not far away from a double ticket flag, and again he'll extract maximum points, 20 big points to the race winner, and that's what it's all about, maximum points for the day.
Well, here it goes, checkered flag, ladies and gentlemen, and Walshy takes the first race victory for the 125 two-stroke division, brought to you by Smarter Than Smoking. An absolutely phenomenal race. Just about flag to flag for Walshy. He did have Deacon Pace, Patrick Butler and Jake Rumans in the mix. So that was race 6 here at round 2 for the Smarter Than Smoking Junior State Motocross Championship. Dylan Walsh on the number 61 not only takes out the race victory, but holds down the best lap time, a 1 minute 57.669. An incredible lap time there. Now, I believe he is pitting somewhere nearby our commentary position, so I may try and grab him for a quick chat as he makes his way past. We'll see how we go. But Deacon Pace, he did not give up, carried up the workload right through till the end. I think there's something to be said about that, maintaining those super quick lap times all the way through to the end. It gives you a good measure of just how well someone organises their fatigue management off the bike as well as on the bike.
Yeah, consistency is the word you're looking for there, J-Mac.
Champions.
16 over A final. This will be a hot competition. Every time I walk back down here, I'm
right up behind him, about a half.
Between 5th and 6th, it's Turner with a big mistake.
But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
once we have this track watered in a little more, the action will continue here at round 2 for the Smarter Than Smoking Junior State Motocross Championships right here at Lightweight Motorcycle Club. Another call for anybody that has a vest, please get out onto track, pick up a hose, get some water out there on this surface. Otherwise, we are really going to be battling for time. You will find that we will start knocking time off the race lengths, or we just won't start them at all if it is not safe to put bikes out on track. Grab yourselves a hot cup of coffee for everyone else that is watching here today at round 2 for the Smarter Than Smoking Junior State Motocross Championship, round 2 at Lightweight Motorcycle Club. We are looking at getting our 65 7 to under 10 out on track for their first moto once we have an adequate amount of water out there on track.
Okay, looks like we've got the sweeps just going around and surveying the circuit, so I'd imagine a race start is imminent. If you're in a position to watch the event, then by all means, grab yourself a vantage point. I think we're about to go racing with Event 7 in your program. By my understanding, that should be the up to 65 cc, 7 to under 10 Event 7 in your program. Not sure, we'll try and give you an indication of what's going to happen through the course of the day. I would anticipate with the time it's taken to get some water on the circuit, we would have a shortening of events. Certainly the steward and or the clerk, of course, will advise us in due process exactly what will be the case. But we're about to have an event go. They're on the starter's grid. I see the green flag going across, so here's where it's at. You get a 15-second board for these little riders. Then we go down to 5 seconds. They'll drop the gates any time after that, and we will be away and racing. Now, this particular moto should be a 7-minute plus one. I haven't been advised of anything to the contrary, so we'll assume 7 minutes plus one. Event 7 in your program. They're revving up, and we'll have action very shortly. Heads are down, and gates drop, away they come. They've got away fairly smartly, 1 or 2 straight. It's difficult to see who takes the whole shot out as they come around down on the inside. Little blue Yamaha. Didn't get the number, but I tell you what, got going very smartly indeed. Looks like it was Nate Tomarini, Caleb Tate, Charlie Butler, Ollie Burkett. Watch for him. Ollie will come through pretty smartly as they work their way around. Bike number 437, Nate Tomarini, in front by the looks of it there, and they've all got away quite nicely. Good news, no yellow flag. And I did mention earlier that yellow flags were going to be a problem. At this stage, there's a little bit more dust emulating from the track in front of us, but otherwise, everything looking pretty smartly. So Tomarini works his way around and goes down the far northwestern circuit, part of the circuit towards the highway, I do believe. Pinch a little bit of a break, not a whole lot. Caleb Tate chasing hard from Charlie Butler, Ollie Burkett. I'd expect for him on the 610 bike, I'd expect him to come through at some stage. We've got Nate Hardbottle, Evan Foley, Diesel Donnellan and Noah Thomas round out the top 8 as we are experiencing the Event 7 in your program, the up to 65 cc's, 7 to under 10, and they're doing the business out here at the Lightweight Motorcycle Club. This is Smarter Than Smoking, second state round for the junior motocross, proudly brought to you by Motorcycle Australia WA and a host of sponsors that reads like a book, not the least of which is Smarter Than Smoking. And there's quite a number of riders, sponsors there you'll see on the front page of your program. So make sure you take a note of that. And if you get an opportunity to use the services of those sponsors, then please do so. And make sure you might mention that you saw their sponsorship here today at the Lightweight Motorcycle Club and you'd like to use their services, whatever they might be. Okay, so the event is underway. Race leader, Nate Tomarini, 437. Got a very nice start and got the whole shot pretty much, and it's been going along very nicely in front. We'll get you an exact order, but I've got on the screen in front of me Caleb Tate in second, 216 from 210 Charlie Butler and 610 Ollie Burkett. That's the way the top 4 circulate, and they're going along pretty nicely in the 65cc. No mean feat to get a bike like these go around the circuit as they do here. And our race leader, let's have a look at him as he comes back around the Moto Pirelli flag. It is bike number 437, yes, that's Tate Tomarini. Now, we should have, yes, Ollie Burkett, what I would have expected. He's powered his way into second position and is set sailing after our race leader. A little bit of frequent flyer points there. After a gap comes Caleb Tate, Van Haberley and Noah Dissington, Nate Dalton, Lucas Butcher and Josh Sheehan, all circulating. Plenty of riders on the circuit, some down the bottom end and a lot of them up here in the pointy end of the event, but doing nicely in front. This is the Event 7 in your program, the 65ccs under 10, and they are all working hard, trying to extract the maximum amount of drive out of these little bikes and going hard towards the checkered flag. Doing it beautifully in front is our race leader, Nate Tomarini. Now let's have a look. We should have some time. 2:18 to Tomarini, Burkett 2:22, 2:29 Caleb Tatum, 2:30 Charlie Butler, top four. Look, there's a little bit of a gap there. There's a 4-second gap between first and second. Then we go back to 11 seconds to Caleb Tate. So that's a significant break early. Looks to me like the dust has settled quite nicely, and that's a good thing. Might take the opportunity, as it's getting close to lunchtime, to give the canteen a bit of a plug. If you'd like something to eat or drink, please take an opportunity to use the canteen. Feed the inner person. We've also got the coffee machine happening in front of us here, and of course the ice cream, Benji's ice cream. It's one of the best ice creams in the West here at Lightweight Motorcycle Club. As we look for our race leader, circulating nicely on the track down there, looks every bit a rider for my money. Nate Tomarini, Ollie Burkett, he's a charger and working towards the front end of the race, as you would expect. Not a lot of time to come from behind on this particular circuit, and there's not a huge amount of passing manoeuvres available to them. But at this stage, those two riders look to be the lamplighters. Caleb Tat into third, and we should see who's there. Charlie Butler in fourth, and Evan Foley, 7-1-1. So there's our race leader, doing it nicely. Kate, it is Nate Tomarini, 2:18, so a little bit quicker this time. Not much gap between him and Ollie Burkett at 2:19 just, so about a second slower per lap, but they're working beautifully. So we've got Yamaha in front of Kawasaki. KTM, get it right, the green meanings are not out here much. They used to be a big go in this class, but of course that's not so nowadays. Don't see too many green ones going around, so we've got KTM chasing the Yamaha. In behind there, you'll find is Caleb Tat, and he's doing a nice job on bike number 216 from Charlie Butler on 210. A couple more riders shooting by. They're doing very nice indeed, and they're working their way towards a checkered flag, doing the very best they can. I see Sol Penicano back there in 10th, expect him to come through a little bit more as they work on all sections of the Lightweight Motorcycle Club here at Byford. The track probably a little more skatier than it would normally be, but these guys are doing a very good job. The 65 cc's, and I can tell you that it's difficult work, 7 to under 10, so this is the smaller age group. They are good little bikes. They've got the suspension, they've got the poke in the power department, but just the same, when you wind it up, you can find they're a bit of a handful, and they've got to be very careful around this circuit today to make sure they put themselves in a position to extract maximum points out of the moto. So the race unfolding, we've got Nate Tomarini still in front of Ollie Burkett. I don't think there's any... Caleb Tat is in third, so no change there. Charlie Butler still circulating in fourth, and Evan Foley back to Brax Chetman, so he's working his way up from Bam Hill. John Fitzgerald coming into the moto with Nate Hardbottle and Sol Pelicano still circulating in 10th. So that's the way they circulate out here in this Event 7 in your program, and they're doing quite nicely. It was nice to hear that the COVID-19 situation, no shutdown, but if you were going to the footy this afternoon, you'd be very disappointed. No spectators at the WA Derby. Fremantle and Eagles is a spectatorless event. That'll take all the action out of it in terms of atmosphere. But there you go. You're a spectator here today, and hopefully you're enjoying what you see today. These are the best young riders in Western Australia, strutting their stuff for you in the Smarter Than Smoking Round 2 of the State Motocross event. Our race leader at the moment, still Tate Tomarini, Nate Tomarini, Ollie Burkett, Caleb Tate, Charlie Butler, no change in the order. These guys are doing very nicely indeed, Smarter Than Smoking. Well, they've been a wonderful sponsor of motocross and motorcycling generally for quite a number of years. Smarter Than Smoking. Through Healthways, big sponsors of events around the place. So one thing I would like to point out, there is obviously no smoking within the event, but let me say this, you're a smoker and you're not feeling particularly healthy, the first thing you can do to help yourself is to give away smoking. So if you're a smoker, maybe you might want to seriously consider the options of not smoking. Healthway, they throw money behind this sport in order to get that message out there. Be smarter and don't smoke. That's the message they like to send out there. So there we go. Smarter Than Smoking sponsoring this event, and also the entire round. In front still, Nate Tomarini, 217, so he's peeling off consistent low, 217, 218. Ollie Burkett back to 220s, and then we go out to Callum Tate, who's a 227. So we've got about an 8 second, nearly 9 seconds between those riders, first and second, and then it's quite a significant break back to Callum Tate. So failing any problems, our race leader in Nate Tomarini should take out this moto in pretty handsome style. Got the front early, did it very nicely, and has continued to go in a forward motion. Doesn't look to have any problem. You've got the bike working for him, and he's not working too hard on the bike, and that is the best way for you to go around. And might I point out, he's on a Blue Crew Racer Yamaha, doing it nicely. Have a look at that. He loves to twist that throttle, and he has got a very handy brake. We can't be far off a last lap board. In fact, I think it's already branded, so race leaders should be homeward bound. And that'll be a nice bit of work from Nate Tomarini, doing a very, very good job and circulating in front. That's where you like to race. If you're smart, you race with the bridge in the face. Of course, if there's a dust problem, you want to be right up the pointy end so you don't have any issues there. So not much of the race to unfold. We've got Nate Tomarini from Ollie Burkett, Callum Tate, Charlie Butler, Brax Chetwin working nicely, back up into fifth, passing Evan Foley and Bam Hill, back there in seventh, John Fitzgerald in eighth. Ninth is Nate Hardbottle and Noah Thomas now rounding out the 10th, the top 10 with Sol Pelicano tumbling down just one more spot. Not much of the race to unfold. We've got a yellow flag out. Can't see the rider, not being waved in any sort of seriousness, although I can see somebody on the other side of the circuit gesturing to the flag official, so perhaps a rider off there looking for a checkered flag. Shouldn't be far away. Race leader has led from the early part of the race, continues to go in front. That is Nate Tomarini on a Yamaha 437, the bike number, looking for him to come back around and take a checkered flag, and it can't be that far away. He has certainly tested him, worked him over nicely, and continues to race in front. Now, as I speak, our starter-finisher works for the checkered flag, and our race leader and ultimate winner slips around the corner. The Pirelli flag flying beautifully, as does the checkered flag. Well done. Nice work. Nate Tomarini takes out maximum points. In second should be Ollie Burkett, 610 the bike number. And as I speak, he flies on by. We should have Callum Tate in behind him. Then Charlie Butler, Brax Chetwin. Good ride from Brax Chetwin into fifth, Evan Foley sixth, Bam Hill into seventh, eighth John Fitzgerald, ninth Noah Thomas, and rounding at the top 10, 410, Nate Hardbottle, and we should be back with Jay McMurray shortly as he stuffs another handful of tips. Look, it's a feed the inner man type situation here, and we don't want to give him indigestion, so you've got to listen to my dulcet tones for a short period of time while our main man gets a bit of, I suppose we call it fuel, body fuel. That's what it's all about, and you've got to feed the inner man, so good on you, son, you keep taking her on. Righto, we should be moving on. At the end of the program, by my standards, the girls 250, so this will be an event to watch. A few years ago, there was no such thing as a girl motocross rider. They have come out of the woodwork, as have females at football, and these girls are to be congratulated for the short period of time they have been involved in this sport. They have really, really done a marvellous job, committed themselves to the sport, and you watch them. If you're not in a position to watch, you should get yourself a good position, because honestly, they are hard-charging racers right from the get-go.
2019 Head of the River champions.
16/8 final. This will be a hot competition. Every time I walk back out here, I'm looking at the beautiful swimming WA.
Christchurch Grammar School. They will be the champions for 2020 as in 2019. Congratulations to our champion, John 23rd College.
We are go. Round 21 final. Nickma with a jogging start again. Corey Vincent, your KZ2 final winner.
Off the start away, it looks like 7-3. Got a good one up Daniel. Second play. He's going to take it, ladies and gentlemen.
Right on him, right up behind him, about a half.
Between 5th and 6th, it's Turner with a big mistake. But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
So our sweep riders are making their way around, just making sure that everything is clear off the track. The last of our riders from the previous race have vacated through the exit chute, and we are about to put our girls 250 division into the hands of the starter, the man with the green flag, walking across in front of the gate as we speak. The majority of the riders have opted to choose the highway side of the gate. About 12 riders on this gate. Here we go as they streak their way towards that first right-hander. The sparkly pink jersey of Rimbus leads us out, but under fire from the 73 machine. Let's check it out as they come on through. The girls 85cc 2-stroke, 250cc 4-stroke division underway. Rimbus on the 929 leads us out. Leah out in front of Jay Lee on the number 26. And they are going toe to toe. Oh, Jay Lee almost puts it down, manages to keep it up on that first right-hander. Running in third place, Ella Foley. Phoebe Bronwyn, my apologies, on the 730 machine, running third out on the track. Ella Foley in fourth. As we watch them head on down, they'll pop over that little mini tabletop into the right-hand hairpin, come streaking back up towards our commentary position before heading down towards the highway. Leah Rimbus in the pink jersey leads out Jay Lee. Down over the rollers they go. You got a couple of different options there. You can roll off and just take them as singles, or you can try and put them together as doubles. Round the left-hander, and Jay Lee giving chase. But Leah pulling out a very handy gap. Both of them showing good skills across that final tabletop down near the highway before they come arcing back up into the infield area. Gets a little bit technical here. The speeds drop, but track position becomes so important. I say the speeds drop. They hurdle their way towards one of the fastest sections of the track before doubling back on themselves. So the moment out there, Leah Rimbus leads out Jay Lee, and they've managed to pull a very handy gap on the rest of the field. Not an awful lot going on in terms of on-track battles, but we'll keep bringing the action to you as it unfolds through for the completion of their first lap. Let's check the lap times. At the moment, it's a 2:08.932 for Leah Rimbus. She, of course, is quickest As we check out Jay Lee, she clocked in with a 2-minute 10.29, running second. Hard on the stoppers through that left-hand hairpin, running high. Is Jay Lee going to have what it takes? She looked like she was considering that low line, but we'll stick to the high line. Leah leads them out. Third place, quite a ways back. We're talking almost 26 seconds between second and third. That's the 7:30 of Phoebe Bronwyn. Then the battle rages royally. So from Bronwyn on the 7:30, we look back to P4. Oh, big bounce off that second run. Mia Scott holding down P4, kicks the bike off the high line. Then we have the Yamaha of Summer Mills on the number, Summer Mills is on the 301, and she's dropped back a little bit. I do see a yellow flag in on the approach to the start-finish line. Looks like our rider's managed to get that one re-fired, and she's thrown a leg off the bike. She may be retiring. In fact, she's needed some assistance to make her way off the track, but at the moment, we watch on our 4Style Media live stream. The 929 of Leah Rimbus leads out Jay Lee Rimbus in the 26 entry. And you can see that gap. It was only 1.48 seconds when they crossed the start-finish line last time. Phoebe Bronwyn recorded in third place on that 7:30 machine. Then it all gets a little bit hectic from fourth back to about eighth. Coming through to complete their second lap, your race leader, Leah Rimbus, being chased by Jay Lee. Bounces off the second part of that tabletop just on the start-finish straight in front of our commentary position. And Leah looking fresh. This is a 15-minute my apologies. This is a 7-minute moto. I was getting ahead of myself. The next one's a 15 for the 250s. Big gap back from second place to third. Phoebe Bronwyn circulating in clear air. Not really under fire. Here comes fourth place across the start-finish line. That's the 74 machine of Olivia Webster on the Yamaha. Olivia Webster doing it for Cully's Yamaha. Here in this Smarter Than Smoking Girls 85cc 2-stroke, 250cc 4-stroke class. We ride with Olivia Webster on screen. Down over the step-off. Washes off some speed there over that tabletop into the right-hand hairpin. And back up towards our commentary position. So everybody largely spaced out at the moment. Currently had 6 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, so we are looking like we will have the final lap board shown to our race leader next time they come around. Yellow flag out there on the middle of the track. So we catch up with Jay Lee Rimbus running in second place just behind this girl, our race leader on the 929. Great aggression from Leah Rimbus there. Fires it down off the right-hander. There's an indication of the gap between first and second. You're looking at 4 seconds flat between Leah and Jay Lee. Running a fairly lonely race. It's the 7:30 machine coming in front of our commentary position there. The pink, yellow and blue jersey combo still looking fresh for Phoebe Bronwyn. Best lap time so far, you're looking at a 2:08.874 for Leah Rimbus on the 929. Here we go, a little bit of a battle coming up on our start-finish straight. Into the left-hander, we'll catch them as they come on through. This is between Mia Scott and Jordan Thomas. The 157 machine of Mia, or rather the 157 machine of Jordan Thomas. Trying to hunt down Mia Scott on the 344. And then chasing those two, Summer Mills on the 301. Back on screen with Leah Rimbus coming through. Over 8.5 minutes, Leah Rimbus has shown the last lap board. And she's about to come up on the first of our lap riders, or rather our lappers as we call them. Sends it on the way into this left-hander. Fires it down. We'll take it as a double. And around the outside, the 106 knows she's there. That's Lara O'Leary. Here's Jay Lee on that number 26 machine, locks it up, gets it fired off that high line. On our way down off the drop-off in towards that right-hand hairpin. Bit of a mix-up of different displacement bikes in here. The category is open to the 250s. And here we go. The 730 machine, that there belongs to Phoebe Bronwyn. Getting around some lap traffic in the form of the 152 of Jessica Frew. So we are on the final lap. All of our riders have been shown at final lap board, and the checkered flag is at the ready. And just watching on as Leah Rimbus has put together an absolutely flawless run. Best lap time for 2:08.874. She's only circulating at 2:09.47, so still a great workload right through to the dying moments of this moto for the Smarter Than Smoking girls 85cc 2-stroke, 250cc 4-stroke 12 to under 16 division. Here she comes, your race winner on the 929, Leah Rimbus. Hailing from the Coastals Motorcycle Club, she will take out this 250cc 4-stroke 12 to under 16 division. Holds the best lap time for that race, a 2:08.874. Just about untouchable. Jaylee Rimbus will finish this one off some 14 seconds back from P1. The gap back to P3, Phoebe Bronwyn. Considerable space back there. But that's your top three. Leah Rimbus over Jaylee Rimbus, with Phoebe Bronwyn rounding out your top three. We'll crack some tunes. WAMX has a fantastic relationship not only with our affiliate clubs, but our affiliate clubs' sponsors. Here today, they have a couple of bikes and some merchandise here as we're about to kick into the first moto for the 250s. Western Edge motorcycles have made their way up from Rockingham, and it is great to see the little JR80s and the KX on display here with a range of Fox gloves. We've got grips, we've got the whole lot. Bring your card. Maybe you need something to get you through the day, but we are off and racing. 13s to under 16s, 254 strokes, out there on track. Let's check them out as they flash across the start-finish line. We'll get an order. Jordan Manier on the 47 leads us out. Will we see a repeat? Dylan Walsh on the 61, firing out hard in second place. Deacon Pace in third. He's still holding it down on the number 21. Stomps it down a gear. Fires it off that top line. Cuts off anybody on the low line. They had no chance. He was going to take them out if they were there. The 282 of Alec Watkins giving chase to the number 21. That's your top four, with Rest Reed rounding out your top five. They head on down into the hairpin and come on back up. It's a handy little gap. It's not going to guarantee him victory. I'm, of course, talking about the minuscule 0.4 of a second between Manier and Walsh, but it is handy to have at this early stage of the race. Deacon Pace falling back a little bit as we get back towards Alec Watkins and Wes Reed. They really haven't changed their order up in that top four as we follow them down towards the highway. Some massive, massive air as we watch on as Manier pilots that 47. Putting in one heck of a performance. Not to be outdone though, that 61 machine with Empire Cycles backing is looking great. Walshy's already taken out a moto. Let's see how he goes in this one, but I tell you what, he's got some really stiff competition in the form of that number 47. Jordan Manier, hailing from Wanneroo JMCC with underclass, ETS Race Fuels, EXP Racing and Fly Racing on board. And it looks to me like Manier is eking out an early, however small, lead on that 47. Let's check them as they strut on through for lap two. Oh, Manier looked like he just about made a mistake, pushing it too hard off turn one. It's given the 61 a bit of a glimpse into what might be. Manier, high line, Walshy cuts off the apex, gives chase. They are going to go toe-to-toe for the next 3 laps. If Manier can hold it together, Walshy may not have the fatigue management or the consistency to be able to last it through at this pace. Your order looks like this. Jordan Manier over Dylan Walsh in second place. Deacon Pace in third. Alec Watkins in fourth, with Wes Reed over Travis Pitter running in sixth. Flynn Powell in seventh. Taj Reed in eighth. Braden Upperton in ninth. And Zane Garraway rounding out your top 10. That, of course, all subject to change as the action gets hot and heavy out here in Byford on this gorgeous 30-degree day. Down towards the highway go your front two riders, Jordan Manier and Dylan Walsh. Jordan owns that lap time PB in the early stages of this moto, a 156.644. They are toe-to-toe, front to back. Did we just see a change in position? Trying to watch on our 4Style Media live stream. Welcome if you are watching on, and it looks like we have Jordan Manier on the 47, was briefly relegated to second place, grabs the inside line. Dylan Walsh is going around. Manier fights back. Check them as they come on out. This is the tight, technical, lower speed section as the track doubles back on itself, and Jordan Manier found himself out of P1 on 3 separate occasions, but manages to wrestle the position back and puts Dylan Walsh back into P2. Towards the start-finish line they come, and Walsh had that brief taste of what it's like to run at the front, and he wants more. That KTM of the 47 looking and sounding incredible. Walshy almost fires it off the top of the berm, but Manier, you get the feeling he's maybe holding something back. Let's watch him. The rear end skipping around on the braking bumps. Lifts the front with the power application. We watch on now as Deacon Pace on the number 21 fires his way down towards the highway, in towards the tabletop, preceding the hairpin. He'll pop back into view. As we check it out, the dust rises towards the horizon. The Yamaha doing an absolutely awesome job. Of course, talking about the 488 machine out there in front of me. Let's watch on as the battle rages. Just about everywhere you look, we've got bikes on every part of the track, but our race leaders are still locked together in mortal combat. And watching on now, Mania has had to give P1 up. Walshy takes that slower inside line, but has just about managed to make it stick. Mania forces the issue, looks for the inside. Has he got it? He's popped up back into P1. Let's check him out. And watching on, Mania relegated back to P2. That's already about 10 position changes between our front two riders. These guys, as if the rest of the race wasn't delivering enough action, have got it coming in spades. Really starting to see a line carved out here through turns 1 and 2 as Walshy on the 61 fires that big 4-stroke. I'm rejoined here by Dave. Dave, this is just an incredible turn of events.
Yeah, exactly what I would have expected at this in this particular motor. These two guys have been really good, serious competitors in this particular class, and not surprised to see Mania and Walsh going toe-to-toe. Notwithstanding that, Deacon Pace is doing a pretty manful sort of a job. I'd imagine he's probably a little bit younger than the other two, but serious racing. No big pardons asked for, and definitely none given.
Checking it out, the 282 machine. This here is Alec Watkins fighting it out with Wes Reed on the 622. They've got their own battle going on. Let's see if we can find another one, as if you had to go far to find one.
Yeah, I reckon that at the moment we've got Dylan Walsh in front, and there's not much between either of these two, so no good things to win the event. Although having said that, it does appear like they might have just separated a smidge as they've got into the major part of the circuit. But Dylan Walsh on 61 from 47, Mania and Deacon Pace. We go back to Alec Watkins in 4th. Wes Reed doing nicely on 622 into 5th. Race still unfolding before us. This is the upper class of the motocross event, and these boys are doing the business here at Lightweight Motorcycle Club in Byford.
Even the riders that are circulating in the back of the pack, I reckon they'd have almost minutes on me if I were to throw a leg over a bike out here on this Lightweight Motocross Club circuit.
Yeah, they're not doing bad time, do they? 156, our race leader. Yeah, it has. And I thought, I noticed that just a while ago. I thought they'd got away a little bit, and certainly as we speak, you'll find that Walsh has sneaked a bit of a break. Now, he's doing a 156.3 as opposed to Mania at a 156.5, so 0.2 of a second. Not a whole lot, but that looks about where it's at right now. So if they go like that to the checkered flag, I don't think Mania is going to be able to bridge the gap. In 3rd, Pace still doing a beautiful job on bike number 21. That is a very, very nice ride from him. Then we go back, the times go right back out to 204s, 08s, 08s. So the first 3 on sub 2 minutes, and everybody else on 2 minutes plus.
And this was something that a lot of people had trouble with, especially over the COVID period, was maintaining their bike fitness. Not everyone could go and take the machine out for a run in the paddock, keep their bike fitness up. Not everyone could get to a track when they were open. And the people that were able to keep that bike fitness up have now even stretched themselves even further in front of the rest of the field.
Yeah, and look, I don't know whether you've actually been on a motocross bike. I've had a little bit of a go years ago against my son, and when he blew me off the track, I stopped. But you can be assured that most of them, oh yeah, that's quite a bad get-off there. Quite a bad get-off there. You do need to be physically fit. This is one of the most physical sports there is. That rider's taken a hell of a tumble there by the looks of that. J-Mac?
That's a pretty tough
Very
spot to go down. We'll try and
awful.
see a number plate.
When you slap yourself down on this sort of circuit, it is absolutely concrete. No good at all. So well done to those officials making sure that rider's okay. Now let's go back to race fitness. You've got to be supremely fit to ride these bikes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think there was a survey done quite some time ago, and they found motocross riders in the AMA, for argument's sake, were some of the fittest athletes in the world.
Well, we just saw our rider number 15, Taj Reed, get back up on the bike and ride off into the distance. My goodness.
Gladiator, son. Gladiators. Wow. If you aren't hurt, you get back on. You might have your ego bruised, but if there's no broken bones, you find they jump back on and go.
Race leader has managed to put a lapper in between himself and P2, Jordan Manier.
Yeah.
This is going to be tough. I mean, Manier isn't going to waste any time getting around that lapper. But the fact that Dylan Walsh could put someone there and go, hey, I'm owning this race, this is mine, that's going to mean something.
Yeah, that could nearly be the end of the penny section, I think, with Walsh and a lap rider in between himself and Manier. And, of course, then you've got the same problem for Deacon Pace. I fancy with the race unfolding the way it has, that could be the end. But, gee, wasn't it exciting early? You know, they were really going hammer and tongs, handlebar to handlebar, no quarter Aston given, and they really tried hard as they could. They gave absolutely everything to make sure they were in front. But at the moment, Walsh doing it beautifully. 156, look at that.
That
156
is, wow.
to 159, Manier. So he really has stretched his legs.
Amazing stuff happening here in the big 250 category, 13s to under 16s. These guys are riding like big seniors out here on this lightweight motocross club circuit. We ride now with the number 47 of Jordan Manier, my apologies.
Hey, you're right, mate. They're going along really nice. Let's just going to have a look and see where we're at with the sponsorship of it all. You know, when you start sponsoring events and sponsoring things, you know, you've got to make sure that the sponsors get something out of it. And there's a huge gaggle of sponsors here who give till it hurts. And in the main, you'll find a lot of the motorbike shops. I know you're at Savage Suzuki, and they give till it hurts, and so does Cully's and all the others, the Yamaha dealers. Everybody gets in and gives a good amount of money. So to all the sponsors, our big thanks on your continued support, not the least of which major sponsor, Healthways, with the Smarter Than Smoking theme, that have continued to sponsor these events over the years for many, many years.
Well, this race brought to you by KTM Australia, and it's great to have them on board. We are just watching on as the number 21, that's Deacon Pace, firing himself down towards the highway sector, over the tabletop, washes off the speed, gets himself set up for that right-hand hairpin, and just launches it. This skatey gravel has caught more than a few riders out, and it will continue to do so as these lines progress. You especially see these big banked berms catching quite a few people out as they just don't stop and keep pushing towards that top line.
Yeah, but you find at the moment, I don't know whether you've had a real close look, but there's a little lip starting to form at the top of those particular turns we're talking about. So it's perhaps not quite as dangerous, a little bit more of a run around there. But if they continue to go there, one of them's going to skip over the top.
Well, that's the thing.
Pretty skaty.
You push that berm harder and harder each time. When do you stop trusting it and hoping that it'll hold? Here we go. Let's continue on with the action in the big bike class. We're following on now. Looks like we've got some lap traffic just ahead of Deacon Pace on the number 21 on screen in this KTM Australia 250cc four-stroke division. Back now with your race leader on the number 61. He's got great form, and you can hear him using that motor just to change his position in midair.
Yeah, and of course there's no doubt in the four-stroke capacity, is there? You know, like they've come a long, long way in terms of motor development, and they really respond nicely. And these big bikes, diggers deluxe if you like, but they certainly go in a straight line very, very quickly, and you've got to be in complete control, no doubt about that. So a testament to the riding ability of our first 3 or 4 riders, doing it beautifully in front. Mania still chasing hard, Walsh in front, no change in the Deacon pace. Westfried coming up a little bit by the looks of that, and also Alec Watkins, Travis Pitter, they round out the top 4 or 5 as we speak, and they circulate, I would imagine, towards the last lap board. 15 minutes plus 1, is that what it's at?
That's right, and we are about to hit that magical 15-minute mark. It is crunch time as the last lap board will come out. Bam, 15 minutes on the clock. Next time we see our race leader, we will have 1 lap remaining.
And I'd imagine, I don't know about you, but I'd imagine these boys will be pretty happy to see the last lap board come out. You've got some serious horsepower underneath you. You've done 7. You've had your arms jerked, your legs hurt. Everything will be starting to feel a bit iffy. Arm pump, the whole gamut of pain in the body. 1 lap to go. I think you'll find they'll go for some more.
Here we go. We ride on now, just checking out as they wind their way through that technical section. Coming back up towards our commentary position around our live timing for the last lap. This is your race leader, Dylan Walsh, on the 61. Some lap traffic ahead of him. He knows that he's got a little bit of breathing room. He's still cracking out 1 minute 58s.
Yeah, that's nice. So that's what we were talking about earlier. Consistent low lap time, doing it nicely. About to gobble up another rider. Rider on the high line. He follows around. I probably would have had a thought about the inside there. But hey, I'm not riding the bike, so he's doing it beautifully out in front.
Well, here we go. He knows that he's got that drop-off coming. He'll take him on the way in towards the little tabletop. Takes the inside line, forces the issue. Thank you. I'll get around you and I'll continue on my merry way.
Yeah, race leader's cleared out now. I mean, we're talking about a 9-second lead. So that's a pretty formidable 158.4. Fastest rider on the circuit is our race leader. And he is doing it very nicely indeed. Dylan Walsh, Jordan Mania. Can't speak highly enough of these 2 riders. I've experienced their riding last year and this year and watched them come along in leaps and bounds. And they certainly are good testers. And when they go and hopefully make the leap to the seniors, they'll be right amongst the pointy end of the races in that area.
Walshy on screen now, making his way through this winding technical section. Couple of rollers, skips off the top there, hammer down and up around some lap traffic, takes a high line, chops it back to the inside, gets around. And it'll be a successful race for the number 61 rider, Dylan Walsh. Only a couple more corners remain before that checkered flag.
Okay, I think here we go now by the looks of this. Around the last corner, if my eyesight serves me correctly, checkered flag race winner got to the front after a really good tussle with Mania and takes out the Moto from Jordan Mania, Deacon Pace, Westfried, Alec Watkins, Travis Pitter, Braden Upperton, Flynn Powell, Charlie Bartlett, and rounding out the top 10 seems to be Zane Garraway. Take nothing away from the front 2. They did it beautifully in front. Can't ask for anything more than a race win, but a nice tussle early, flexed his muscles, did Walsh, and went on with the business to get the 20 big points.
Great run there in the KTM Australia 250cc division. So our sweep riders are out on track and they will clear their riders, and we will go right back around to the top for the second moto of the 50cc autos. This will be the 50 demos coming on out, ages 7 to 9. A fantastic run in that moto. All right, we gave you the bum steer. This is the 85s. I do apologise. The 85s to 150s, 9 to under 12s. I thought they were going a little too quick for 50cc demos. Mason Brown on the 658 leads out Riley Byford with Michaela Rimbas holding down the 3 spot. These are the 85s to 150s. I'm sorry, Dave. I thought we were running into 50 demo territory.
Okay, well, we've done the old commentator's hiccup. Never mind, that happens. I do that quite frequently, but then I am over 60, so I'm allowed to do that.
You've got an excuse. I don't have anything to blame it on.
Hell of a good excuse. All right, so they're circulating, they're away and racing. Who have we got?
Mason Brown leads us
yes,
out.
Yes, of course, exactly what we would have expected. These are the key riders in this, the Lamplighters, Mason Brown, Riley Byford, Michaela Rimbas. Cannot speak highly enough of the Rimbas family. Good on you. Oscar Thomas up amongst them there with Luke and Novello, Deegan Ford. Now, I'd expect a little flying mop to come up a bit harder. So he'll be up amongst them there fairly shortly as they circulate on the first lap here in Lightweight Motorcycle Club event. What are we talking? Must be about, yep, there it is there, 10.
So the final race of the first round.
Wow. It's exciting.
An incredible day of competition here, and the 85s are absolutely tearing it up, sending the dust up into the sky. We continue on and watching on. Mason Brown, you'd be hard-pressed to discount him. He's been putting in an incredible performance all day long. Rimbas looking resplendent in the shiny pink jersey, continuing on with her current form. Doing an absolutely incredible job. You can see her kicking that bike into submission there. Up she goes. Looking like we were trying to have someone put a move on her. That could very well be on the 505, Oscar Thomas. Oscar Thomas doing it for Sander down in Bunbury.
Okay,
here we go.
Here we go, eh? 6:58 at their race leader and doing it pretty well. A little bit tricky to watch the screen now, isn't it, with that dark number. Mason Brown, Riley Byford, Michaela Rimbas doing as good a job as Lee Rimbas in her early events.
Absolutely.
So the two girls are really serving it up.
I think these two are going to be ones to watch.
Yeah.
Oscar Thomas on the 505, taking it right to young Rimbas. Here we go. The Bunbury KTM absolutely locked and loaded, fires it down off the step-off and in towards that tabletop hairpin combo. He's got one heck of a target in front of him because Rimbas is not going to give him any room at all. As they come back up over the rollers they go. It's a high-speed section of track. In that left-hander, down in towards a wide open tabletop. Thomas flicks the rear end out. Down towards the highway. Top gear, flat stick. It doesn't get much quicker than this as they head towards Southwest Highway. Down around that left-hander, and the 505 looked for a moment like he was gaming. Rimbas is a really canny rider. Watch him. Thomas grabs some time in midair, draws up alongside, has the high line, but Rimbas has track position, covers off that inside, gets the better drive. Now it's going to be about who can manage the fatigue, who can make this work better for him. Best lap time belongs to Mason Brown on the 658 with a 2-minute 10.775. As we watch on, this battle rages. This isn't even the battle for the top spot. Looks like the 505 of Oscar Thomas has gotten up in front. Managed to get it done on Rimbas in the moment that I was looking away. Blink and you'll miss it, I tell you what. There goes the 658 of Mason Brown in front of our commentary position. Giving chase is Riley Byford on the 543. But let's check it out. The 505, that's Oscar Thomas for Bunbury KTM. Looking great. The old man puts a lot of time and effort into this kid's racing package. And Oscar delivers the results. Now running in the 3 spot. Takes that inside line. He knows he's got good drive, and watch him just fire out. He's grabbed himself almost a quarter of a second there, just in that move alone. It's hammered down, and he is looking to try and find the back end of Riley Byford. The 5.43 is still quite a ways ahead, almost 5 seconds last time they came across the start-finish line. But we'll see how that shapes up as the race progresses. We watch on now on our live stream screens. Welcome the Flying Mullet, as we see out there on the 102. That's Deegan Fort. He's now sizing up the 110 machine of Michaela Rimbus. These 85cc small wheels are one heck of a machine. Now here we go, Deegan Fort grabs some precious proximity on the back end of Rimbus. Can he get the move done? He's running high. Rimbus down on the inside. Holds it down. Fort gets the move done on the jump and elevates himself up into 4th spot. He's got a bit of a mission ahead of him now because the gap back looks to be around about 6 seconds. So we'll follow on with our live timing and we'll let you know as those details come to hand. Looks like we're watching on now with Oscar Thomas on the 5.05.
That's done plays havoc with the screen, doesn't it?
It makes it a little bit tough.
Yeah, the purpley coloured leader. It's all right for you. You're a whole lot younger than me, so you can probably see it. I know it says Mason Brown because I've had a really hard look, but without my glasses, I couldn't tell you what it does. But Riley Byford going along okay, and Oscar Thomas doing it nicely. But they're circulating pretty well. Deegan Fort, I thought Deegan would be up amongst them. Little flying mop going okay and getting in amongst them. He's a Blue Crew rider, bike number 102 for Yamaha. Peter Strickland and the boys doing a really nice job. But I tell you what, you can't take anything away from the rider up front. Mason Brown, he was very, very smart early in the earlier motor that he rode in. Picked up where he left off now, and he is the lamplighter in this event as they circulate on pretty much all the circuit here, and they're doing a nice job. The first half a dozen going along all right. 2:11 is our race leader lap time. 2:13 to Riley Byford, 2:13 and a little bit, but slightly faster Oscar Thomas. Then we get to 2:14 Deegan Fort, and Michaela Rimbus continuing to circulate in that 2:17 time. Doing quite nicely, but could be under a bit of pressure from the rider behind her, who's circulating just a little bit quicker now.
We watch on. We've clocked over 8 minutes of track time. This is a 10-minute plus 1 lap moto, so we will reel off another lap. Our race leader will get around one more lap before he's shown the last lap board. 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go. And I'm, at this stage, we've got no indication of what the balance of the day will bring, but clearly with the time taken to water the track, there may be some shortening events, not exactly sure. At some stage, I guess we'll get some indication of what it is, but at the moment, as per the program, and race leader, still going nicely, yep, peels off a lap, so this one and one more.
Let's watch on as we rejoin with the 5.43 machine running in second place. This is Riley Byford on your screens now. Geez, these Husqvarnas look good, don't they?
Say again?
These are some incredible looking bikes out here.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, did we see? Is that our race leader with a misstep on the 658 KTM? Mason Brown looked like he went off the end of the berm here on turn 3. Had to collect it back up, went around the doubles.
And fortunately for him, had enough lead to get back into the race, still in front of Byford. But yeah, just a momentary lapse of concentration. And while we speak, he's obviously got back on the model and got going again. Byford's got a little bit closer, but yeah, what you're saying about the bikes, when you look at where we are here, look in the pits, the colour, the KTM, the green of the Kawasaki's, you've got the yellow of the Suzuki's, Yamaha, just looks magnificent. It's a real spectacle just to stand there and check out the colours and the work that goes into preparing a bike and making it go around the circuit.
Mason Brown still leads us out, even with his earlier misstep. We continue on. Riley Byford in second place with Oscar Thomas holding down P3 on track. We've got a fast mover. That's Byford on your screen now, making his way through that left-hander. As we look to be picking up pace as the race dwindles down.
I think they're right down the bottom of the circuit. Here we go now with our race leader, and still going nicely in front, albeit the fact that it had just a little bit of a moment. Mason Brown doing it nicely. Should be coming back and probably greeting the last lap board, and I'd imagine without too much worries he'd be pretty happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
Any old 10 o'clock, our race starter or finisher got the last lap board in preparation.
And here he comes now, ready to greet that sign with a bit sigh of relief. Watching on second place.
And again, of course, Riley Byford's going to suffer the same fate as other riders that have chased the leader. A couple of slower riders, or lap riders if you like, in between them makes it ever so difficult. We've got 1 lap to go, and of course Brown is putting a couple of lap riders between himself and Byford, and kind of that's the end of the penny section then, because notwithstanding the fact you're chasing hard, you then got to deal with another rider.
Just watching on, Oscar Thomas on the 505 machine. He's consistently been using this inside line here. I'm wondering if he's hedging his bets, knowing that he's got the drive off that inside, or whether he's maybe not comfortable, or maybe there's been some instruction given to him. But he has been in fine form as we watch on with our race leader on the 658 machine, Mason Brown. He's a race winner already, looking to go 2 times in the 1 round.
Yeah, there's not a rider in the world can do any better than be in 2 events and win them both. That's the best you can do, no matter whether you win it by 100 yards or 100 foot or even 1 foot. You go to the checkered flag first, you're a winner, and that's a real good effort. 2 rides, 2 wins, excellent work, and that's how it looks at the moment as the race unfolds. Comes to a successful conclusion for Mason Brown. Riley Byford has been very manful in his chase down, as too is Oscar Thomas. Deegan Fort, the flying mop, going beautifully. Michaela Rimbus, can't speak too highly of the work she puts in. They are to be commended for the way they go about it, in amongst the boys and doing the business.
Absolutely awesome to see that 110 machine of Rimbus tearing it up amongst all these very hard chargers out here. Wearing that 110 number plate with pride, and I got to say, looking cool while she's doing it. Let's check out on screen now. Just watching on, trying to pick it. The 658 machine, Mason Brown, comes across for the checkered flag. A fantastic victory here in the 85s. Done an awesome job. Riley Byford nails second, with Oscar Thomas rounding out your top 3, Dave.
Yeah, nice riding there. Really well done, Mason Brown. Excellent effort. 2 rides, 2 wins. You don't do any better, and consistently in that 212, 213, 214 time frame. Riley Byford, nice work from him to get second. Well done, Oscar Thomas. Deegan Fort, the flying mop, into 4th. And then, of course, we go back to Michaela Rimbus. We've spoken highly of, and should be commended for her effort to get into that. And we should move on. I think that's the end of round 1.
That is the end of round 1 now, and we will be taking a break with the 50cc demos out on track. Yeah. Apologies for my earlier misstep, and we'll resume regular programming now. But just once again, a fantastic job there from our 85cc riders. Incredible racing under some tough conditions. We'll get back in just a short moment with our girls 85cc small wheel.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you're hungry, now's a good time to take on a feed.